welcome into round 10 of the 2024 RaceFactory Gaming National Motocross Championship live here on Start Your Systems TV. Kellen Brower, joined by Andrew Wood. We're back together. It's like been over a month, I think, since the band was together. We're back in studio, ready to call the action. We got maybe some championships on the line tonight. It's good times at Budds Creek.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be back. Yeah, it was a long break, a solo stream, 2-week break. Then I had to leave you, so it's good to be back after over a month, it feels like. And Budds Creek, always fun track, and yeah, 2 championships that one probably will, and one could get wrapped up, so should be a good night. Excited.
Do you feel, though, that obviously now we've had a break in this championship, a little bit of time off, and coming back from the break last week at Unadilla, does this feel like a long championship now? Because I felt like we were flying through it, and now we're at round 10, and it's kind of gone on a bit, huh?
Yeah, it does. It's weird with the breaks in between. You almost forget about the Loretta's break that kind of pushes everything back a little bit because it does feel like you're flowing through it. So, yeah, I mean, it did seem early on too with the way the points were working out that they would be boring championships or get wrapped up super early. And I think we've seen some great racing though, which has really helped a lot of the racing along the way. So I feel like it's been good. Yeah, a little bit long, but hey, it is every year. We just forget about it by the time we start, and then we realize it by the end.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have some championship dynamics to talk about tonight, but before we do that, let's take a look at our qualifying times here at Budds Creek, round 10 of 11 in this championship. Payson Johnson, fastest qualifier to 156.351 here this evening. But right on his heels, Killian Ortiz, Seth Shirley, also in the 56s. Colby Eagland and Tyler Lang are the 2 gentlemen that really have to stop this championship from ending this evening. We'll get to that in a minute, but at least Johnson looks like he's come ready to win this thing here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Payson Johnson, fastest qualifier for probably the millionth time in his career. He's just really good at throwing down hot laps, but really interesting to see Killian Ortiz. I know he's been up there, but to see him that close to Payson is really impressive. Excited to see what we can see happen here today and any spoilers that we get going in. I think this is a tough track, so qualifying times aren't everything once we get into racing on this very difficult racetrack.
Yeah, it is always, I feel like, tighter racing on this track just because of the slower paces up and down the hills. So you're definitely right about that. Let's look at our 250 motocross qualifying sheet here. And another man that could win this championship here tonight, Seth Carr. Way faster than the rest of the field, 156.679. He does need quite a bit of help to still actually clinch here this evening, but he has the upper hand, and he certainly does in qualifying here.
Yeah, I mean, almost 2 seconds faster is crazy. Seth Carr just showing, I mean, he is also, I would like to know stats on qualifying on how many times Seth and Payson have been top qualifiers in their respective classes and how many times it's over a second, because it's almost every time it seems. But Cade Matherly, he's the guy who's fighting for the championship with him. So to see him in second is awesome. And then, yeah, everyone else pretty close. The names that we are used to seeing. Plus, Dylan Delaire, good for him. Good time up there. Don't really see him up that high normally.
Yeah, Dylan Delaire picked up by the Phil Ski and Snowboard team recently. Him and Colin Holden both going top 10 here today, so good to see that. I wanted to take a quick peek at the amount of different guys we have signed up. 43 guys ran laps in the 250 division. Not sure what we got in the 450 class. We end up having 37, so probably no consies, or I think we're going straight in. But let's quickly talk about these championship standings. 250-wise, we just talked about Seth Carr, fastest qualifier again, and Braden Tharp in chat, his teammate, letting us know that he's qualified fastest at every one. So that's incredible by Seth. But he is 25 points up. He needs to leave here 50 points or higher over Cade Matherly. Seems quite unlikely. Of course, Matherly and Carr splitting motos last week. But you never know. Some things could go really wrong here tonight, and we might be crowning a champion in this 250 class.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that far apart, or else maybe I wouldn't have hyped it up. I do think we'll see Payson clinch once we see that. But Cade, I mean, he's just got to do all he can do right now is try to put in as good of a finish as he can. Try to beat him, take away some of those points, and say, listen, I kept it close, right? If he can say I kept it under 20 points at the end of the year in outdoors, it's a long series, and I think that would be something to hang his hat on for Cade Matherly. So, yeah, it'll be fun, and I'm excited. I think this will push on to Ironman, but you never know. There is a slight chance, but I think Cade will be able to hold on and stay close.
Yeah, so we'll see if this breaks further apart, or hey, maybe even Cade gets the thing close and we have a nice championship showdown at the end. This is where things could be won here this evening. Payson Johnson, 43 points up on Tyler Lang, 49 points up on Colby Eagland. Everybody behind that mathematically eliminated from the championship already. And as we said with Seth Carr, Johnson has to leave here 50 points up or better to be crowned champion. And obviously, like I said, this one seems more likely tonight, especially with Johnson rolling out here fastest qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, Johnson, really good speed here and has showed it. I think he's got everything it takes to take this title home. Colby is kind of just on that cusp right there. So really, it's going to be, if Payson's far back, we'll be watching both of those guys. But I think it's really going to be where's Lang on the track and where's Johnson, and trying to keep tallies on those throughout the motos here today.
All right, so let's jump into it, shall we? That is our report before the race. This is the racetrack that they will be racing tonight, and I think we might just have enough time. No, we don't. Never mind. Psych. It's going to get in there and show you guys a little bit of what this track looks like. But overhead view, this track hasn't changed too much, at least from recent years. I think maybe the biggest change is where it rejoins the start now. That used to kind of be like a flowing right down the hill. Now it kind of just right-hand 90s onto the start pretty sharply, and there's even a double down the hill, so that is kind of unique because it could create a little bit of a passing opportunity there. But Budds Creek in the past, when we've raced it here, where do you find that the most available opportunities are to pass around this race circuit?
I think downhills. You look at it's, I mean, there's so many of them. Downhills and off camber corners. Actually, maybe no, those are tricky and those are not passing spots. Just if you look at this track right now, this picture, you can see so many ruts everywhere, 4 or 5 ruts in every corner. But these downhills will get choppy, they will get rutted up. And I think I say at the top right of the screen, coming through the really tight S turns, coming down towards the left before the big triple step up, that's a spot where I would always pick lines and I would try to find a really smooth line. And I feel like you could just stay on the gas a little bit harder. It's all risk versus reward though with this track. How long can you keep the throttle on into a corner and carry that speed? It really doesn't matter what rut you're in if you're coming in twice as fast as someone else. So I think just focusing on the hills, this whole thing is built on a valley, basically going up and down hills all around it. So there's a downhill pretty much every other section. So I think that's pretty much the spot you got to look for.
Well, there's a downhill every other section, but that also means there's an uphill every other section. So you got to be able to carry that momentum from the downhills back up the hills all the way around this racetrack. Like you said, it is unique in that aspect that you don't ever really get a break from it. There's a lot of off cambers. There's a lot of kind of momentum killer places on this track as well that kind of throw you for a bit of a loop. But it's always been a very interesting race circuit, and this year will be no different than that as well. Great to see everyone joining us in the chat room tonight. Hopefully everyone's having a good time. We are rolling right into 250 moto number 1, and we have got a lot of guys going to the gate, 43 to be specific. No Consi. They let 3 guys back row this thing. So we'll go ahead and get our Design Lab Co. whole shot picks in here, the designlabco.com, presenting you the whole shot every single week, and we love all the work that they put together there at the designlabco.com. Haywood, what have you got for me for a whole shot pick here? We got the Panini boys, Evan Holt, Rasmus Balzer, J.R. Reyes, Nick Niles, Max Wilczek, Hollenbeck, Adams, Gummison, Speck, Heilman, Wells, Bradstreet, Swanson, White Drizzle Holyhead is here tonight, Alec Horn, Ryan Chowsey, he's been getting off the gates well, Vanderkoy, Spicer, Devers, Matherly, Wyatt Grant, Race Cobble, Emmanuel Cepeda, Jack Gatlin. Who are you picking? Who we got?
Well, you kept going a lot longer than I thought you were going to right there. I'm going to say this because I'm trying to manifest good vibes for this person. And I'm going to say Design Lab Co. whole shot award pick is going to be Cade Matherly. I think he's got to just go out. If he wants any chance at this title, you got to go out and be like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to whole shot Moto 1. I'm going to get the vibes flowing. I got 2 rounds left to make up 25 points. Like, go out there and get it. And if he doesn't get it, my pick will probably change for the second moto, but I think he's got to do it. He's got to give it everything he's got.
Okay, so we'll go with Cade Matherly, or you will at least. And I think you're right. I think he needs to get off the gate well. That was one thing that really played into his hands in the second moto last week at Unadilla. I think it's going to be someone random because I think that these guys are maybe focusing on each other a little bit. So I feel like, we're going to have some weird guys out front off the start here to make it even that much more spicy. So you know what? I'm just going to pick a random off the wall. You know what? I think we're going to get a nice hole shot from Jack Gatland on his TM Factory racing machine on the 29. What do you think?
It's possible.
We got a British rider out
It's
front.
possible. You have a... Yeah, it's possible.
We are close to Washington, D.C., but this happened in Boston, I believe. So Paul Revere put up the lantern. Here come the British. I think Jack Gatland's getting out front in this one.
All right. You've got a 2.5% chance of it happening. So
Hey, that's my GPA.
maybe a little. Hey, it'll pass. Maybe a little bit more if we call some of these guys.
This is
not
so
having
bright.
a
I
chance.
gotta lower the brightness right now. Holy
I mean,
smokes.
this thing's just looking like my future, bro. So bright, can't see.
Okay.
Turn the music down, I can't see. Famous quote by Travis Hoffman.
Well, turn the music down and let's crank it up, boys. It's time for 250 Moto 1 live here on Start Your Systems TV. Huge shout out to Hayden Stevenson with another Prime sub. Great to have you supporting us and joining back in to the Members Lounge once again. Good sir. I hope everyone is ready for this one because I know we are as well here at Start Your Systems TV. Strap in, folks. It is 30 minutes plus 2 laps on one of the toughest tracks of the season, and it could end up deciding a championship when all is said and done. 30 car to sideways, revs are up. Here we go at Budds Creek.
Look at this. Gate down, couple guys hitting it. Watching Seth Carr, though, your points leader. What's he going to do here?
Inside line, he's going to let everyone push out, and Seth Carr's got the power down. Chelsea alongside's trying to get there as well, but it's Seth Carr with the Design Lab Co. hole shot. Well, he did exactly what Cade Matherly needed to do, but Seth has been on a roll of late. It's been so tough to beat him, even tougher when he gets out front like this.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that was going to be my pick, but I was trying to manifest. Come on, Cade. Let's see some battles.
Oh, wait, what happened?
Whoa!
What do we got? We got a red flag?
Red flag.
Red flag in the chat. I don't know what just happened.
I don't know either. Shout out Dylan Epstein in the YouTube chat.
Yeah,
is that the Dylan
I
Epstein?
think so, yeah.
He's
but
like one of the first people I ever shot a photo of.
he
in
wants
like
to make a
2014.
run at pro in sim, and
Send it.
I think that's a good idea as well. Is this the real thing now?
I think they might have forgot the 3 people on the back.
Well, there was 3 people on the back row. Okay.
I don't know.
Resetting it. We are ready and set to go. Can Seth Carr do it again? The 30 card is sideways. The revs are up, and the gate is down here at Budds Creek. Launching out of the gate, Seth Carr gets a pretty good run again, but he's going to get shoved down to the inside. Let's see who can poke his nose out in the middle. It looks like it's a Yamaha. Is that Maverick Snyder on the Takatoji Yamaha gets the Design Lab Co. Oh, shit. This time he's got Carr right behind him. Chelsea down the inside. We got another rider getting into Seth Carr, and Carr goes down. The 47 machine got up in there, put him on the ground. Evan Holt takes over the lead on the first lap. Look at how close everybody is over the finish line jump.
Yeah, I don't know if that was what that was from Chelsea there. Not the smartest decision, but I was going to say it was going to let it end to be a bummer for Seth Carr getting second on the start, but then it really went down. Chelsea
more chaos
down.
In the background as Snyder goes
Maverick.
down. Chelsea, a lot of guys messed up right there, and it allows Cade Matherly actually up into third. Jax Lindsay is all the way into second as Holtzy's already opening up a pretty big lead right there. Just trying to refresh timing and scoring there real quick, but Holtzy leads from Lindsay, Matherly, Tharp, and Caden Speck inside the top 5. Tharp teammates with Seth Carr. Let's see if he gets a move done here on Matherly quickly to try to get by him. He does down the inside, but then he messes up corner exit. He's off the track and trying to rejoin safely here. Fortunately, it looks like he's only going to lose one spot.
Yeah, hopefully he can get back to the inside. Loses a couple more there, but he'll be all right. He's good up front early. Man, this thing got flipped on its head real quick here with Seth Carr and his shenanigans he's going through right now. And Cade getting a great start and being able to, hopefully he can capitalize on this. But yeah, it's a bummer, but we'll see. Cade making a pass right there. Someone blew over that berm. Those ruts haven't developed yet, so he's one spot closer and trying to just extend this lead over wherever Seth Carr is going to end up at the end of this lap.
Yeah, that was Jax Lindsay out of P2 down on the outside right there. And Evan Holt has got himself a nice little comfortable lead as he goes up and over Henry Hill here on lap number 1. Well, actually, it's lap number 2 because we've already crossed the finish line jump. But here is Holtzy leading us to the top of the hill here before the start straightaway once again. Matherly up in a second. Then it's Speck, Jax Lindsay, and Jeremy Seabolt. So we've got a lot of different Panini riders up here, but none of them are our red plate holder, Seth Carr, who was down early. He has got a lot of work to do. And we just talked about it. If Cade Matherly can get out front early and maybe get some gaps established, this might be a race for his to take and close up that points gap a little bit more going into the finale maybe.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking of some math here, right? If Cade does end up winning, we're 25 points ahead. I think he realistically would need to gain maybe 15 points to put the pressure on Seth Carr going into Ironman, so that there's 10 points left, right? And then you're really putting Carr on notice of, hey, man, you have to perform. But if he only ends up beating him, we've seen both these guys move through the field throughout the season. If it ends up Cade 2 and Carr 3, you're gaining minimal points. You'll get 6 or 4 throughout the day. So I honestly don't think that's enough. Cade is going to need something huge right now to come from this, and he's got to really capitalize on this moto, especially because you don't know if Seth Carr is just going to come out and get the whole shot second moto. So it's all about this one moto right here and then coming out, but he's got to gain a lot of points because there's still 1 week. Carr has been better almost every single week of the year. So I don't know. I think there's a lot riding on this moto, and it's seeing how far can Seth make it up, and I think Cade needs to go out there and win this thing.
Well, let's go find where Seth Carr is. He is back here now with Ben Nerona battling it out. He is P9 just in front of Maverick Snyder, who got our whole shot and then crashed on the opening lap as they got together in the midfield battles, and Seth Carr pushes the nose right there, so Snyder's even going to try to close up on him. But already up to 9th. Pretty good ride so far to salvage what's could have been much worse going down right off the start like that. You never want to crash in front of the whole field because your risk of even having a double fall off crash goes up so much higher. But like you said, now it's time to just settle down, try to get into a pace. Is that even Matherly? No, that's Holm. Level Up Racing, but he's on a Filski and Snowboard Honda up ahead of him. So Seth Carr going to just try to focus ahead of him, pick off guys one at a time, and first up, Ben Nerona.
Yeah, I mean, really, really good showing by these guys. I think Carr's getting into another rider right there. Can't get up, just in a weird spot. There's so many off cameras. Carr is going through it right now. Gonna lose 3 positions overall from where we just saw him. I think that puts him back to 11th. So he's got Lucas Arriagada here. I think he'll make quick work of most of these guys, and I think he's really just gonna need to settle down. I honestly don't think we're gonna see a problem with seeing Seth Carr get back inside the top 3, minimize the damage, and hey, even get up there in the second. It's possible. Jeremy Seabolt 4 seconds back. The rest of those guys pretty close. So just got to breathe, and there's a lot of pressure on him right now. And I think by the end of this thing, we got 30 more minutes. I think he'll settle into a pace and be just fine.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask about with Seth Carr specifically and that pressure is, this is the first real chance that he's had at potentially, putting this thing to bed in terms of a championship picture. Do you think that's maybe even weighing on his mind a little bit as now Cade Matherly puts his nose to the front? He has gotten around Evan Holt, already put a few seconds on him, and he is trying to take off with this win. So, I mean, even as it stands right now, gosh, he's pulling a massive chunk of points back on Seth Carr. And unless Carr can get up onto the podium, I mean, this thing pulls under 20 points after this moto. Who knows what it could look like at the end of the day if it keeps trending this direction.
Yeah, it's going to have to be, this is time. I think Cade is honestly just going to cruise around up front, and I think he's got nothing to lose, right? All he can do, he's in first. He's where he needs to be. If anything happens, it's, that's him throwing away his one opportunity, and Carr has everything, to gain back there. He's got to just knock off as many spots as he can and focus forward. So Cade is in the spot he needs to be, and this couldn't have been better for him after that first moto start where I didn't see him. So I think Cade will be all right going, and it's just going to be the story of this moto is, can Cade stay up? He's got a pretty good gap behind him to Holtzy after Seabolt went down. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be just keep an eye on Seth Carr and see what happens with these guys. First is it's 3 points compared to the rest of them back for a couple or 2 points. So he's got a good spot here, and he's putting himself in the best place he can be.
Well, let's call the race as it is so far, about 7 minutes into this 30-minute plus 2-lap affair in 250 Moto 1 at Budds Creek. Cade Matherly leads now from Evan Holt, who led the first handful of laps all the way up until lap number 5 by the looks of it. Caden Speck on the EVP Yamaha now moves into third. I believe he was that rider that got together with Seth Carr on the opening lap through the first sequence of rollers there. Always tricky at that top of the hill right there with those rollers because you're trying to get turned the whole while battling side by side with the rest of the field on the opening lap. So can't blame Speck there, but he's trying to go after Holtzy here for this 2 position, and he's going to get it. He's going to triple down the inside. Might not get it done just yet using this inside. Holtzy rips the outside, and Speck has to settle back in. So nice recovery there from Holtzy, but it seems like Speck has a little bit more speed in hand at the moment.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty cool. We saw just how this track works. So many off-camber corners here, and there's a million ruts, right? You see someone make a pass, but they go and they're stuck on the inside. The inside is going to be a lot more rough, a little bit tighter, but some of these outsides you can just kind of power into, flow around. And we saw Holtzy get that spot back, so Spec now has to go back to work, find another spot to pass him. Maybe by the time we get to the next lap or next time he's able to make the pass, he'll use that same spot, but then maybe try to move over and move into an outside line where he can carry that speed and not get passed back. I think that's just something you learn. These guys really, they've been racing and they know some of the lines, but really they've been qualifying, putting in hot laps. So I do think that they're going to be looking for race lines and realizing these things. 30 minutes plus 2 laps, you end up with almost an hour and a half on these tracks throughout these 2 motos, and these guys, they learn a lot throughout. So we'll see what Caden Spec can do, if he can work his way back up and make anything happen here. I know you're busy. Maybe if you want to click 1 or 2 riders ahead, and I'll just call some of that.
Well, let's go back to this battle here. Jax Lindsay and Jeremy Siebel going at it for 4th.
Yeah, these guys super close right here. Siebel was up in 2nd. He made a pass by Holtz. Oh, look at that mistake by Jax Lindsay. So he goes down, goes a little bit deep, and he's actually going to lose 2 positions to, I think, is that Chowsey,
yeah,
think,
that was
on the
Vanderkoy actually
Vanderkoy.
going by in the 86, side by side. Dualies. Not many places for dualies here on this track, but nice when we get guys side by side. We got him going right there. But yeah, Siebel does move up into the top 5 right now. Update on Seth Carr. He's still, in 10th place right now behind Max Wilczek. So we'll keep an eye on that. Looks like this battle's kind of differentiating itself a little bit. Maverick Snyder and Ben Nerona set to battle just behind them, as they're keeping tabs on each other through this off-camber. Seems like so far what I'm noticing about this track, and you correct me if you have a different viewpoint, but very much one line. I think we're going to have to see this track really wear in before these guys try some different options, because everyone's kind of funneling to that one option, I feel like, all the way around the track right now.
Yeah, we see right there, and you guys watching at home, I think this new update we got where you see like the tire tread marks breaking in on the track, not just the road buildup, you can see where it breaks in. So one line right there, pretty much one line right here. But I did see 2 after that tabletop, so it's like, okay, I honestly think the track creators might have almost done too much with the ruts. The section that you started pointing that out, and here we see 3 different options, which is awesome. But just go around and look at that as we go around the track. I think there's some sections where there used to be in previous versions of the track just maybe 2 options, but whoever created the track put in hours and hours of testing and was able to make those 2 lines as even as possible. So you have one outside line that's really fast and one that's got a big single into a tight inside, but they're very, very even. It's just, what am I going to do and how much do I want to risk? And I think that's you can almost overdo it with 4 ruts in every corner, because these guys are going to find the one rut that's the fastest, and there's not enough time or space to move around. See, we see 2 here, and you can kind of see that throughout the whole track where there's 1, 2, or 3 or 4.
Yeah, hell of a battle right here, too, that we're watching. Snyder finally gets around Ben Nerona. They have been going back and forth here for the better half of a lap and pushing up to Evan Vanderkoy. This is 3 different Yamaha teams, Allied, Takatoji, and EVP. So none of these guys are teammates. As down goes Snyder. Woo! High centers in that rut and goes off the bike. So now the question is this a freebie spot for Seth Carr or not? He was right behind these guys. Gets going behind Wilczek. No, Carr is not going to get there just yet. Heard that we have some updated lap times from Axis in chat letting us know 2 flat 0.5 Seth Carr's best, but 2 flat 0.1 by Matherly out front. And as I say that, the report has come in. Matherly just laid it down out front. That gap is significantly down. He's got pressure coming in. Evan Holt has closed it right back up for the lead. And now we've got ourselves a little battle at the front of the field. Cade was trying to get away, but now it is all in his rearview mirror again.
Yeah, it's hard because you fight, right? He's thrown down some really fast lap times, fastest lap of the race, or at least between those 2 guys. But then you have to stay consistent. You have to keep pulling some time away. But he's the only one right now. He's not in lappers. He's making these mistakes all by himself, and that's going to kill him. Everything that he fought for the first 11 minutes of this race, he goes and kind of throws away a little bit. So he's got to work it back. Oh, it looks like Holt went down, and we got 3.5 seconds back now to Spec. So he's going to gain it. I do think that he has the speed on everyone in this field except maybe Seth Carr if he gets on it. But looking at the top of the screen right now, you see Seth Carr coming across in 9th place, 25 seconds back. Ooh, a lot of battles over here, and he's going to move up into 8th past Wilczek right there.
Yep.
Nice little inside line by that. Maybe 7th right here in the next corner. So he's got the speed going, but 10th place is 11 points. So just kind of think of that when you see him far back, but now up to 7th, that's going to be a big change right there. Bring it down to 8 points.
Yeah, just kind of crawling those points back in his favor slowly but surely, and now he's in a position where he can continue to charge forward. Evan Vanderkoy, Ben Nerona are the next ones up the road. That would get him into the top 5 if he can get all the way to this man right here. There's Evan Vanderkoy, 6th. So we have almost half of this race now completed. 13 minutes have come and gone, and Carr looks like this is going to be a good lap right here. Let's take a look at what we got. 2 flat 0.4. So not quite the 2 flat 0.1 that was put down by your race leader, Cade Matherly. But you're right. I think Seth Carr is starting to wind this thing up. And look, don't look now. He's only about 24 seconds, 23 seconds off the lead. So if you think about, a couple fall-off crashes for Cade Matherly late in this race, we never know in MX Sim, man. This could come down to the very end with Carr even getting up there for a battle out front.
Yeah, I mean, it's never, you can never, with the way the track breaks down, kind of count someone out. If he keeps running a couple 2-minute lap times, the people around him he's passing are running like 202s, 203s, so he's going to make it up. I honestly think he was just a little bit frazzled and frustrated being back there. A couple small mistakes, though. This track does look tough and rough, and I think when you're trying to push, it makes it more difficult, where some of these other guys are just surviving, and they're able to run a decent pace. Carr is coming up. There's another pass as we see that rider blow the rut right in front of him. But he's got the speed. If he can keep on it, he'll pass most of these guys just by pure speed alone. But yeah, just watching for mistakes by Matherly, he kind of holds the key to his own destiny right now. So he's just got to keep it on 2 wheels.
A little bit short there on, I think that jump is it called Goliath or no? What that's Iron Man.
Big Gulp.
The Big Gulp. That's what
Is
it's
that
called.
What it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Freaking sending quads out there if you're Ferrandis. Just sending it.
But yeah, so look at these guys. They're all still pretty tight knit back here. Nerona, Snyder, Wilczek, Vanderkoy, Lindsay. They're all going off Henry Hill together. They are now just behind Seth Carr. Carr's made it all the way up to 5th. Next up for him is teammate Jeremy Siebold, who's a little ways up the track. Evan Holt still hanging on for a podium spot. Caden Speck in the 2 ride. And your leader continues to be this man. Halfway is now come and gone. 15 minutes in, 15 minutes still to go. And Matherly leads this thing by 3.0 seconds. So got himself a bit of an advantage, but I don't feel like he's really taken this thing by the horns and run with it like I expected yet. Obviously he had a crash, but it's not like he got back up and immediately pulled back away just yet,
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say when you have the fastest lap of the race, but I do feel like Cade just almost doesn't have the ability to maybe run that elite speed as many laps of the race as Seth Carr. Cade almost seems to be like that more consistent, diesel, little Ryan Dungey action going on, and then Seth Carr is just kind of blow you away speed. So I don't know if he's going to really just kind of fly away from these guys if they're consistent. Maybe he's got some nerves, right? He's getting updates. He's going faster. I got to go faster. He doesn't want to make mistakes, though. So I think he's just riding consistent, and I think both these guys have nerves. But right now, Seth Carr, he's like, why not? I'll just hang it loose right now and try to gain as much as I can. And I think that does put pressure on Cade on having to be perfect and throw down heaters.
He is just slightly inching back away from Caden Speck now, as Speck is feeling a little bit of heat from Evan Holt. These guys have actually stayed pretty close. Siebold's actually not too far off of them either. He's only actually 14 seconds off the lead, 5 seconds behind Evan Holt. So they've hung right in the rearview mirror there of our race leader. And Carr has got it down to 22 seconds now in P5. So we'll continue to watch these gaps as the race goes on. We obviously have quite a bit of racing still left to go. Wilczek, Snyder, Nerona, Vanderkoy, they're all still pretty tight-knit. Jax Lindsay, Wyatt Grant, Ryan Chauncey. Let's just kind of go through the field a little bit here and see where everyone's at. Alec Horn, Emmanuel Cepeda, Race Cobble, Garrett Hollenbeck. All these guys pretty close together in a nice little battle going up the big gulp right there. Then it's Xander Brion, Jet Holyhead. I thought it said Jet Wisdom for a second, but Jet Holyhead making a nice pass there on Xander. Cody Wells and Trent Adams in our points-paying positions at the moment. Jack Mark with a Cade Matherly look-alike get up here is trying to move into 21st. Thought he was going to rip that outside.
Same.
Just not quite able to get it done. So That's where some of your favorite riders who are battling in the points-paying positions are at the moment. And they're still chasing this man in the race lead. So where is a good battle to watch? All these top 5 have
let's watch these Yamahas.
kind of distanced themselves out. But I mean, even them, like, we got Wilczek, Snyder. I guess they're close enough. If you go on board with Nerona here, you see how close he is to Snyder. Snyder just chasing Wilczek. I don't know. It's tough because it seems like these guys have been close together the whole race. So I don't know who has the upper hand, but you're right. It looks like it is kind of closing up again.
I don't know. And they're all on similar looking Yamahas with like white and black gear. So can't really tell the difference between them. I mean, let's just watch these guys cruise around. There's not much going on for something. Oh, look at that. Trying to move up the inside. Maverick Snyder holds on to his position in that second rut there. Almost gets clean. But yeah, I mean, for come down the points and seeing these two championship battle, there's not much going on the track right at this second, but that's what happens. It's a long series. Maverick Snyder is about to get the business handed to him. Watch this. Around the outside.
Ooh.
He's going to pull. Who's going to hold it on longer? Do they go for the same rut? They do, so Maverick is going to shut the door right there and get the drive.
I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I'm seeing a lot of wheeling out of these 250s on this track. I rode it a little bit. Didn't seem that grippy of traction as Snyder finally gets it all wrong and goes down. But honestly, I've seen a lot of like loop out Larry moments almost happening with these guys. They're just ripping it out of these corners.
I thought that off the start too. Once everyone made that tight 180, and I don't know if the traction's like deeper or what, because maybe they're doing it on purpose, right? They're sitting here, it's bumpy too. You're trying to just see if you can get that front wheel up maybe a little bit, keep it smooth, let the suspension kind of ride over everything. Look at this though. This is about to be a move. Is that Siebel right
that's
there?
Evan Holt in front of him. Yeah,
in front of him. So Seth Carr making moves up here towards the front of the field. And he's going to say, listen, dude, if I need to, I'll just go out and get second after a crappy start, after hole shotting the first one. And there is Siebel, his teammate, the Panini guy in the green gear, right in front of him. So, man, if he can make these two moves, this will put him up into third and put him on the podium just like that. Nice and easy around the outside.
Down the inside, turns to the outside, gets the job done on Evan Holt. Now he's up to fourth, like you said. Next up for him would be his teammate in P3. That would be the 10 of Jeremy Siebold. So right now he's got it down to just losing 7 points. Pick up 18 points for finishing fourth in this moto. 20 if he can get all the way to third. So he'd be losing 7 points. We'd have it down to an 18-point deficit with 3 motos still to go for Cade Matherly to try to make up, or 18-point lead if you want to call it that for Seth Carr. But he's trying to make it a 20-point advantage and get by his teammate here. He's got it to 18 seconds behind Matherly as well. Matherly stretched it back out to 14 seconds over Caden Speck. This move for third, down the inside on the rear tire. Does he go for the triple? Nope.
Sick,
doesn't get the triple, and Siebel's going to get him right back. I like how that plays out because it looks like he had the pass done, but Siebel using that outside gets it back. They're still side-by-side coming into Henry Hill, and this time Carr is going to cross back over, make that pass stick, and he's up to third.
Yeah, just Siebold came in at a little bit of a weird angle there, blew that corner, and Carr was able to take advantage and work forward. I like it a lot because, yeah, you dive to the inside and you're like, oh no, but Siebold's like, no, dude, I'm just going to go to this outside where if I rail it, I'm going to blow by you up this big triple step up here. And it's, oh my God, he just absolutely railed that corner. Yeah, it's kind of the way things go on some of these tracks, and I like that with nationals because there's this outside line that's 50 feet out, but it can be just as fast, if not faster, than the tight inside that someone thinks they made a pass, and it's really all about who can hit the corner better and what leads them into in the next section. So really cool to see the track working like that. Carr is working his way forward here and putting some pressure. Do you think when he gets in the second, people are going to be telling Cade, and Cade is going to start to get inside his own head a little bit?
Well, I don't know. What I'm watching with timing and scoring here is the gap was about 24 seconds. It's now 15 seconds to Cade Matherly, and I feel like a lot of that is just Carr's will and effort that he's putting in because he's done some incredible laps running in the low 2 flats. I think 159 is his personal best, and he just moves into second, goes around Caden Speck, who was down there on that sweeper. Ooh, we got a change for third as well as going by as Siebold. Holtzy's trying to pass Siebold as well, so 3 of these guys linked together. But now our championship combatants run in the 1 and 2 positions. Holtzy to the inside gets by Siebold and Speck as well. Siebold out of sorts, doesn't get the main line right there, goes all the way back to 5th. And now Speck is going to put a charge to try to get back to Holtzy. Now the question is, we got ourselves a bit of a goose chase here. Can Seth Carr run down Cade Matherly on speed alone? 2 flat 0.8, 2:03.5 last time by, so we're looking at about 3 seconds a lap potentially to be gained. We still have 7.5 minutes plus 2 laps on the clock. This race might not be over just yet.
Yeah, it is winding down, but everyone forgets. Don't sleep on those final plus 2 laps right there. And the reason I say that these races, yeah, they're 2-minute lap times, you can easily have a 36 plus minute moto for the leaders because of the way that the timing works when they come around, all that stuff. And I honestly think there might be enough for Seth Carr to get it down, as long as the lappers don't really get into it too much. I mean, Cade is going through them right now, and looks like he just went through 2. One of those went down, so we'll see if the time changes. Another 1:59 by Seth Carr. He's 23 minutes in, only 0.2 off his best lap of the race. He wants it more, I think, and I think he's going to go up and get it. Worst case scenario, I think we see a battle to the death in the last lap or 2, but I think Carr might be able to get it. There's another 2 seconds right there. Oh, is that? Oh, no. He had to deal with these lappers, so that's going to slow Cade down. I think Carr's got it, dude.
He is definitely flying.
He's
and look,
ripping.
I don't mind a death battle for the win one bit. I will take that all day long. And he is certainly winding it up slowly but surely. Matherly's got some clean air right now. Carr's about to have a lot of it because no one is between himself and Matherly on the track anymore. When we went on board with him, it was almost 13 seconds. It's down to 9, and we have got 6 minutes still on the clock. It is coming down, and I think Matherly is also starting to make some crucial mistakes up here. He's probably kind of getting a little bit anxious about this because he had a great opportunity here, and he does not want to let it go by the wayside.
I honestly do think, Cade is pissed off, though, because I saw seeing his dot go through those lappers, it wasn't really quick work. And if they were going down, they were going down right, as he was there. And by the time Seth got there, he was just able to fly by most of them. The people who fell were just down off to the side. I think Cade's probably a little bit upset, and so now he's under stress. He's got all this pressure, and probably a little bit upset at some lappers, and that doesn't do good. Your heart rate's up, all that stuff. It doesn't really bode well for you when you're trying to hold on to a lead, and you got this guy super fast ripping behind you. I think Cade kind of got the shit end of the stick right there.
Yeah, the lappers are always tough to deal with when you're the first person to get to them because they are in a battle of their own. They don't want to let you go, and it's tough picking sometimes because you just feel like you're stuck behind them. And if you try to force a move on them as well, you might put yourself on the ground, which is, of course, more time lost than ultimately you want to have in general. 2 flat 0.5, 2:06. The difference of 5.5 seconds last time by alone. I don't know if it's going to much matter, lappers or not. I think Seth Carr might just run him down straight on speed, regardless of the situation. We still have so much time left to play with here. And I don't know, man. I feel like I'm trying to be one of those F1 battle predictors because at the moment, we're maybe a lap and a half or 2 away from this thing getting real spicy for the lead.
Yeah, I mean, 6 seconds, and there's been a couple laps where it's been 3 seconds plus, so I think you're right. I think by that
someone just yard sailing
straight over the bars. I think by the time we hit that 30-minute mark, Seth Carr is going to be on him. One thing to note, if you can see at the top right of the screen, the little green dot is Cade Matherly right ahead of Seth Carr. There's no one between these two. He just gained another 0.6, but then after another section, there's a crap ton of lappers. So they are going to be getting into those right when these two get on each other. So there's like 8 lappers up there. This could not bode well for Cade, but honestly, it could go either way. I think Cade needs to get to them, honestly, before Carr gets to him, because Carr can use them like a little blue flag kind of lapper situation, and I think just fly by. 5 seconds now, 4.8 is the gap. It's going to be close, and this is going to be a crazy ending to this race, I think.
Yeah, like you said with the lappers, I feel like if you're Cade here, you just want to have some buffer so that he can't get right behind you and maybe just try to force a pass or something along those lines. So he is, I think, desperately trying to get to them as fast as he possibly can. I mean, Carr is ripping these corners. I feel like we're headed towards another, 2 flat, maybe even a 159 with how well this lap has come together. Got it down to 4.5. It's still inching down, going over the tough blocks right there. And they 202 flat,
Oh my God.
159.6. New fastest lap of the race out of Seth Carr.
Oh,
He's down.
No,
He
he's
doesn't
on the
fall off
bike.
the bike. Doesn't fall
Wow.
off the bike, but man, oh man, that was a wild ride to go on board with. Only lost probably about 5 seconds of time, but that could be a huge break for Carr in the closing stages, or Matherly, I should say, in the closing stages of this.
I honestly think that changed the whole race because Cade, besides this lapper right here, probably made a mistake. Cade was not getting close to these guys. I was watching the dots, and Carr was going to get to Cade, I think, before he got at least into the thick of it. There's like 10 lappers coming up within the next 2 sections for Cade. Cade needs to get in there, put some buffer between them, just like you said. That was a huge, huge blessing right there. Cade making quick work of these guys. I think Cade holds on to this thing. If he gets through this, look at that. 3 riders right here. Here's another 2 that he can get to the inside.
Oh.
Jump out of the rut, please. Makes another pass. This is all the stuff he would have to deal with, and Carr would see that and be able to just fly by. I think Cade's going to take this moto easy. Carr must have gone down again at 16 seconds. This thing's locked up. Cade gets this moto.
I think Carr, yeah, you did go down again, but there's some sort of battle going on with Panini guys in the background here. I saw it in the distance. It's actually Siebold lapping by the looks of it, Braden Tharp. So he is moving forward into, he's 4th right now, just ahead of Caden Speck. Wilczek in P6. It's still Matherly, Carr, and Evan Holt in the podium positions. And Carr's down again. So that that could allow some of these guys back into the picture, and that's what Matherly needs. Honestly, he needs to get some buffer zone between himself and Carr to get these championship points back in his favor more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to pray, right? He's got all the weight off his shoulders. He's going to cross, so there's not going to be 2 minutes left or 2 laps left. So it'll be basically 2 minutes or 2 laps plus a minute, I would say. So maybe 5 extra minutes. They'll probably finish up around 35, where we're going to end up with this moto. He's just got to pray that Carr is flustered enough to get these guys in between. I do think, though, Carr went for it. He probably made the mistake, tried to push even harder because he tipped over, then fell off again, then another mistake, and now he's like, okay, just hold on a second. He can ride with his eyes closed and be faster than Holtzy. No offense. And I think he's just saying, hold on a second, lose 3 points. I've got 22 points in this championship going with 3 motos to go.
Yep, Holtzy about 3 seconds back of him. I think you're right. I think he's just like, please stay on 2 wheels. We don't need to make this any worse. We gave it a run. We did our best shot at getting Matherly for this win, but it's just not going to work out. And look, credit to Matherly. These last couple motos, at least, especially at Unadilla and now this one, when the pressure has come, and I know you weren't here for Unadilla, but at Unadilla, the same thing happened. Carr ran him down and crashed, and Matherly stayed up on 2 wheels to get the moto win, stopped the bleeding, didn't let Carr get another tally against him, and now we're seeing it again. Late in these motos, Matherly's got something about him where it just comes natural to fight all the demons off and be as resilient as he has been all year long.
Yeah, I think he's just got that right. We've seen it. We saw Carr put the hammer down, come back from 24 seconds back when we saw it, and get up so close to 4 seconds, and then just made a mistake. And Matherly is that diesel that just keeps chugging along, keeps going. It's just maybe a little bit either too little, too late in the series. I think he lost too many points early on, and just wasn't. I think they traded really a lot to start the series. And then he just kind of got to a point, a couple rounds where he lost too many points. It's been a great title fight. It's not over, but yeah, Cade just doing his best, and maybe next year, it's definitely not over. But I do think we're seeing a tale of 2 different types of riders and how you can go about a championship, and kind of why Cade may come up just short.
Yeah, it's just the tale of 2 halves. Sometimes it feels like you get the good mid-season surge from Seth Carr that pulled his championship lead back out, whereas Matherly kind of struggled a little bit, and that might end up being the difference, but they have been so close all year long, back and forth with the moto wins, back and forth with the good performances, and really Seth Carr's starts were his strong suit of late. They have kind of hurt him with a couple first-turn crashes and stuff like that, but Matherly has also started to figure out the starts. What could have been if he figured those out earlier in the season? I feel like this battle for second is not over just yet. I feel like Holt's been slowly picking up the pace all moto. 205.2 last time by. Of course, Carr had some mistakes, but 206.5, and he's going for a ride down this hill. Not going to lose a position, but maybe a little bit more time lost right there and in an unpreferred inside line on corner exit. So yeah, look at Holtzy, man. He's putting the heat on Carr. He wants to get P2 in this race.
Yeah, I honestly think Carr is slowing down too much. I think when you're a guy that can run 159s and you need to back it down, you need to go to like a 202, 203 pace. We saw him with a 205 last time, or a 206, and Holtzy is running 205s. I think he needs to pick it up just a little bit, because as a really fast rider, you try to slow down too much, and then you just get off of a flow. We see him messing up, breaking bumps in the corners, little things. I think he needs to just pick it up. You went to 80%. You went to probably 60%. You got to pick it back up to like 85, 90%. Just no balls to the wall. I think that's where you can ride faster than everyone else, but just smooth. Look at this, though. Wow, Holtzy getting really close. Carr needs to... He's going to now have to put down like a good lap, but I honestly think that'll be like a 201.
Well, it could be on the final lap that he'll need to wick it back up to some Seth Carr qualifying pace, because Holtzy is putting the heat on him. The flag in the upper right-hand corner of your screen is about to go white as our race leader, Cade Matherly, crosses the finish line jump to get onto lap number 18. There it is, and Carr goes down. He does not fall off the bike. That's the second time he's had a wild ride that doesn't put him off the machine. He's got to be careful, because one more crash would put him behind his teammate.
Oh my God, look at him.
Look at that, ripping through the rut, trying to get back up to Evan Holt. Now he looks pissed off. Now he looks well annoyed by getting passed again by Holtzy. He's trying to get a nose in there. Holtzy's just making him work for it all the way through these sweeping rollers up and over the finish line jump. Carr trying to get to the inside here to make this pass, and Holtzy's like, what's going on? I don't know where to block, defend, what have you, but he holds position for now. Carr's got to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I mean, Carr's pushing right now. If you're Evan Holtzy, do not watch this back after the race, because that is just crazy. Up the inside, Seth Carr makes the move. We saw he's like, I'm done with this shit. I'm going to go, I can go fast. And coming down that hill, it just like makes you laugh, because the amount of speed that these guys can have. Evan Holtzy is going as fast as he can on this track right now, trying to get a second place finish. And Seth Carr just goes, okay, dude, I can go this much faster, and showed it all the way through the finish up the hill to where he made the pass. And he's holding on. He's probably going to come around and drop like a 1:59 or a 2 minute. He said, this is the pace. Yeah, he made mistakes pushing up, but this is just the pace where he's comfortable. He's comfortable half a second off of his time, not 5 seconds off where he was trying to sit.
Yeah, he is.
Holtzy, that's crazy.
Dude, he is crowded together quite well. This might be another fastest lap. We talked about trying to run a quali lap on the last lap, but that is unbelievable what Carr turned around in that final lap to make it back into P2 and not allow a little bit more points to fall the way of this man. Cade Matherly, who is showing up when he needs to do so the most, rebounded with a second moto victory at Unadilla last week. It wasn't quite for the overall, but it at least stopped the bleeding just a little bit, and now the points gap is going to go from 25 to 22. It's a little chip at getting closer, and it's a little step towards trying to get this championship in his lap before this season is done. Moto 1 winner is Cade Matherly here at Budds Creek. A nice whip. Seth Carr is still putting his quali lap down. Evan Holt doesn't know what hit him, so we're going to see what happens.
I got to see this lap time.
This lap time is about to be ridiculous. Carr lit it up to a different zone.
1:59.7.
I think it's a 1:58.9. Nope, 2:01.2. So
you know, see, that's just his. That's just the pace. He probably made a mistake. That's what he runs. Holtzy ran as fast as he could and ran a 2:04 right there. Great ride by Evan. Awesome for him. You just had Seth Carr to deal with. Siebel, someone cartwheeling behind him. I think his teammate Tharp. Siebel with a great fourth place finish. Caden Speck coming across in fifth on his EVP ride. And look at these guys. Wilczek, solid. If there's a Yamaha behind Wilczek.
Jack Lindsay broke it up.
Oh, Maverick Snyder's
trying to push him over the berm, though, here in this last corner. Let's see what he's got. They're going to both rip this middle rut. Double. He's not going to get him. Jax Lindsay absolutely nailed that line when he needed to as well. Yeah, 4:10 in. It could come down to cuts. Ben Nerona, Race Cobble, they stay together the entire time. Allied teammates. Cobble might have a late push here, trying to get him at the flag. Not going to get it.
Loves Stella Artois, I guess.
10th place. Alec Horn gets 11th. Evan Vanderkoy 12th. Garrett Hollenbeck 13th. Maybe not. Trying to push it to the line.
G-Rat.
very close, but it is going to be Vanderkoy who gets it. Xander Brion, Ryan Chowsey, Jack Mark, Jack Gatland, Jet Holyhead, Wyatt Grant, Lucas Brune. Those are our point scorers, and it looks like it'll be that way as well. Cepeda not able to get up there. I'll say one thing that is interesting about this moto that hasn't happened that much of late, they didn't lap into points. P21 is going to finish on the lead lap and not score points in this moto, which kind of has been rare for that lead group and what they've been able to accomplish this year. So maybe the track is just a little bit more easy and fast for everyone, or maybe they were just putting so much emphasis on focusing on each other, they did not run their normal optimal race pace that they could have. But either way, Moto 1 here is going to belong to this man. Cade Matherly penalties are in, and it looks like our top 5 stayed the exact same. So 25 down to 22. It's a little chip, just a little chip. And if he can take a little bit more out in Moto 2, we might be going into the finale with a true showdown.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting there, you're saying, okay, 4 motos, 25 points. Let's try to average beating them by 6. And it's like, you got a little bit of the way there, but man, I don't think he can do anything. He's got to have something crazy happen. We saw Seth Carr go down on the start. He was back. He fought up. He got stuck in 10th until like the 10-minute mark, and then can put the hammer down and come back to 2nd. Then he can also get up to 4 seconds behind you and then drop back and just still sit there. I think it may be too little too late, but Cade did the best he could do, which is like props to him. But like, what do you do, right? It's hard. You can go and win out, and Carr is just like, you know what? I'll have terrible races. I'll get 2nd. I'm still going to win the championship by 10 points. And it's a bummer. But Cade's doing what he needs to do, and we're just here to call the action, I guess, and see if something crazy happens.
Yep. Big shout out, by the way, to Holtzy, who dropped into our chat right after this race was over and says it's his first career podium. So golf claps to Evan Holtzy there. Nice to see him.
Second.
Almost got second. Was
Carr's
right
a
on
sicko.
him. I know. Carr just went alien mode, got dummy thick on him real quick. And that was incredible by Evan Holt to get his first career podium. It is time. It has been exactly 10 years. My reign of the decade is now complete. It is now going to be a full decade and beyond since I won the first moto at Budds Creek in 2014 after what's about to happen on the track right here. But I'm just soaking in the moment one last time. I was the king of Budds Creek for a decade.
I mean, I missed 10-year anniversary of Southwick. I had to freaking jerk myself off as much as possible about it this year when I was here for Southwick. And it's like, you gotta shout yourself out. You had this career that was so many years, and you've had a career even longer as the best commentator in the history of motocross video games. And it's like, you gotta talk about your peak of your racing career, right? We have to we gotta relish those. There was a long ass time ago for us. We were just kids, and we did something amazing. So I did say, actually it was the year before, so that's fine. I did say I probably would have beat you. I think that was 2013 though. But I'm proud of you. I also want to point out, I said I could win this track in 2013 just because I had hundreds of hours on it before anyone else did. I hate Budds Creek. I absolutely hate racing this track just because I'm not a fan of off-camber corners.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that I think I've scored points like 3 times in motos at Hangtown because it was so bad. Off cambers everywhere. Hagvis had him like just always skinny ass ruts. And this track sucks. If you cannot ride off camber corners, this track is so bad for you in sim. So I just want to point that out. And it's bold claims that I think I could win because we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost every other corner on the track's off camera. Budds Creek sucks.
It was definitely not my my vibe, and I somehow
you're a legend.
You know what's crazy though that I was just thinking about, the minimum age requirement is 13 years old to race in Race Factory competition, and there's a decent amount of young kids that race in this series. You know what sucks is how many kids probably weren't even in kindergarten when I won that moto and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Maverick Snyder was probably 2.
Well, he couldn't actually be 2. He'd have to at least be 3 a decade ago to still be racing.
11 years. But... Okay, there's no age requirement. Half these kids are 11, I bet.
No, there is. You have to be 13 years.
Check the box.
You have to be 13 years or older.
Yeah.
You have to be 13 years or older to race Factory competition. It's rated PG-13, man. There's a lot of cussing that goes on in group chat. So
I've never, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, there's been some people. Pretty sure Russ Chapman was like 10 when he started racing.
Yeah, well, we won't get into the weeds of that. That's another day for when I make the MX Simulator iceberg video, and we have to
What?
we have to go through all the
What does that
deep.
mean?
You never seen an iceberg video?
No.
Do you know what like the iceberg theory is?
Well, there's like
here's
80% of it.
Here's the stuff that you maybe know about Sim, and
Just
then
the
here's
tip.
all the shit underneath of it that you've never heard of.
I mean, I'm clearly the tip.
Yeah. Oh, just the tip. All right, let's get into our Design Lab Co.
It's going to be 2013 Southwick is the peak.
Hey, this man's back.
Kellen's, fuck yeah. I got to go pee. Alexis Leclerc is going to whole shot right now. I didn't even see his qualifying. I have to go. I forgot to go before the first moto. And I'm really happy about that. I'll be right back.
All right, Alexis Leclerc is A-Wood's Design Lab Co. whole shot pick. Just taking a look through who I might want to grab for this one. You know what? Let's go Seth Shirley. I've been kind of banking on him to deliver for me of late, and I feel like we got a good one coming here for old Sethy Shirley. So wait for him, see if he can't get off the gate first, and here we go. 450 Moto 1 set and ready to go here at Budds Creek. Payson Johnson way down the inside. Where is the whole shot going to come from? 30 card sideways, revs are up. Gate is down here at Budds Creek. Pachone, who we're watching, hits the gate off the start. Why is it going on to me? Into turn number 1, we are going to see Seth Shirley. That's the 2 machine poking his nose out right there. Seth Shirley rips the Design Lab Co. whole shot. Finally, he gets off the gate well, and this could be a golden opportunity for him with Alexis Leclerc right in tow. Hayden Stevenson on the 12 is off to a good start as well. And just about every big name that you hope to see up here at the front seems to have gotten off the gate pretty well here in this first 450 moto. So let's settle in and see where things are at. As Leclerc deals with pressure from behind, Seth Shirley leads from Alexis Leclerc. Oh, he's down at the top of the hill. He's down, coming up into the top of the hill here where the flag stand is, and he's getting hit by a lot of riders at the top of the hill. More riders down on the backside. Who's taking over the race lead? It is Leclerc out front. So that is a tough break for Seth Shirley to get the lead and immediately warm up his arm and throw it away just like that. Leclerc now leads from Jason Stubbs, Payson Johnson, Hayden Stevenson, Bodie Parker, Schaefer, Partolo, Lang, Sullivan, and Pankow. Where is Colby Eaglin? He is 16th. So Lang has got to get on his horse and try to not let Johnson get away here at the front. He is already in 3rd. And Leclerc last week came back off the couch, did not look the normal pace that we've seen from the 5-time champion. I think Johnson's in a golden opportunity here at the front of the field to try to get away with the lead and get this moto win in the back pocket for him. He cannot actually clinch after this moto because even if he wins and no one else scores points, he still would only be, I think, 70 or 60 some odd points up. He needed to be 75 up after this moto, but down the inside trying to get Stubbs for second. Johnson into Henry Hill into P2. Perfect spot for him. Now he can run down and chase our early race leader, Alexis Leclerc, as Andrew Wood joins me back in the booth.
Did he get the whole shot?
Nope. Seth Shirley did.
All right, well, that's all right.
And I picked him.
We like him. You did?
I did.
Oh, my God. This is
my
bullshit.
God.
All right, everybody in chat who's cheering on Seth or Kellen for his pick, you guys all suck. Alexis Leclerc, though, good to see him back. And look at this. Comes back like he never left, leading this thing and trying to put a gap on the field. But he's got some competition. Do you think he holds on to it? We are 1 lap in, Kellen.
I don't think so, man. I just got done talking about it because last week he came back off the couch at Unadilla and did not look like the Alexis Leclerc that we have known to love over the years with his 5 national championships on the mantle. I think Johnson knows it's his time to shine, and he is going to go get the goated MX Simulator national champion in this game. And is this a bit of a changing of the guard right here? Johnson has been working his way back to his old form of late and might be on the precipice of clinching his 2nd championship. Is this the torch passing from one man to the other? Yeah,
I mean, I think we've seen it. Like, Payson can just do it. It's like how much he just has to care enough. Look at this speed he's got. And yeah, I missed like the whole first lap, so I didn't know what was happening. Look at that big mistake. Leclerc goes long, and he's going to get passed right up the inside by Payson Johnson. And I think this is the last time he's going to see anyone near, or you're going to see anyone near his rear wheel. I think Payson's just going to put a move on, drop some banger qualifying laps, and get out of here quickly. Yeah, maybe changing of the guard. If he tries, like, he still says he doesn't really try, but if he like puts in some effort, dude, I think pacing, if he can just dominate these guys until we see someone else that can come up, maybe Seth Shirley after another year on the bike, the 450 will be able to pressure him, but Payson Johnson is the man right now, and that number 1 plate is going to be gone, and I don't know if we'll ever see Leclerc have it back.
Ooh, that could ruffle some feathers.
We're getting old.
We are getting old.
He's close to our age. Leclerc, he's missed, I'm sure, because of life and other stuff. Like, it sucks when you just don't have the time. I can't believe that Leclerc
it was at the top of the game as long as he was.
Yeah, and still. So, changing of the guard. Hey, you said it first. You led me down this path.
I set
Shout
you
out
up.
Jason Stubbs in 3rd, but Tyler Lang is the one we are keeping an eye on because, as we said earlier, he is 2nd in points, and he is the only one that can keep this thing going on until Ironman.
Yeah, 43 points down. Well, Colby Eaglin can as well, but Eaglin's off to a bit of a rough start. He is only in the 12th position. Stubbs looks like he just went down and is losing quite a few positions. He's going backwards as well. So Lang is now dealing with some pressure. Austin Partolo putting some heat on. Next up is Austin's Schaefer. He'll try to get up to him and see if he can close the gap down. And that would be for 3rd place. And then it's all the way up to Leclerc in the lead. Johnson already laying down some absolute burner lap times in the race lead, though. He's got a 3.4 second gap established in the front. And it's all on Tyler Lang now at this point, really just to try to get into 2nd and limit the damage as much as possible.
Yeah, is live timing just broken?
Yeah, I don't know why it's not working for me.
Get out of this. We don't need to see. Tyler Lang makes pass for 3rd.
Ooh, side by side.
Yeah, he's going to get it.
Around the outside, he's going to get by Schaefer, so now he has some clean racetrack ahead of him. Yeah, 158.8.
Carmichael.
158.8 for Payson Johnson out front. He is absolutely flying around this track right now. So it's up to Lang to do whatever he can to get up there and mix it up. All the way back here to Colby Eaglin, now P11. Bodie Parker just went by him. Eaglin struggling to get off the gate of late, but he did win the 2nd moto last week at Unadilla, so he still has the speed to win on his day. He's going to try to make this pass stick on Parker down the bottom of the hill to this inside line. Parker forced the issue on the outside and just said, I am not giving you this pass, sir. You are going to have to work your way around me. And Eaglin has to go back to the drawing board once again.
Yeah, I like that. Almost like a little Vince Freeze action, or me at the end of my career. Just you're faster than me, but guess what? I'm going to stay ahead of you as long as I can and make you work for it. Colby Eaglin, by the way, I think, is that a stock model replacement helmet that we've got like for him? Because that setup is so sick. That FXR gear looks so good.
No, it's not a stock helmet.
Okay, well, it's ugly. So it looks like one. If he had a better helmet, that would be Lit Kit for sure. That gear is so cool. I don't know if we've seen that, but I just love like teal, cyan, like all that stuff. That's one of my favorite colors. So shout out him minus your helmet. Look at this pass up the inside. He's going to make this work because body is too far out, and there's a twofer right there. Someone goes down.
Brandon Cocroft. Precision Print Works, but Precision himself into the ground. That's my default helmet, by the way. Is that 60?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the August Sanders Special Edition. Yeah.
Yeah, we need some new ones.
We do.
Someone get out there and make a new one.
We do. We do indeed.
But I do like it because it lets you know that helmet was just so plain. So bad. You gotta be running that when you got such a sick setup.
Slowly going to work on Austin's Schaefer, and he's going to get by him. Or is he? Schaefer fighting back, jumping a little bit long, but makes it stick and continues to get it done. Making SYS replacement packs so everyone is on bananas. Yeah,
I mean, why not? we got the sickest gear setup that's out there. Shout out to everyone for making our gear and our bikes. We don't race much, but I wanted to. Dude, if I should have done this last week, but I was away from home. I couldn't make it. If I raced, I could be in these motos. There's only 37 dudes out there. I can be out there. If I show up and I'm the 38th guy on the gate, do I finish better or worse than 36th?
You'd finish better, but I think based on just a lot of guys crashing.
I don't think so.
No, I think you would.
I've been trying to ride some of these tracks, and I'll put in like 5-10 minutes, and I can't get around the track without crashing like 2 or 3 times. This shit's hard.
How hard by Nintendo would we be sued if we tried to do like Mario Kart but in sim and get like Luigi and Mario and Peach characters?
Care.
They care.
Not for like I don't think, like, what if you dress up as Mario, Luigi? This is just how this championship is going, how we get into these conversations. If we dress up as Mario, Luigi, all the characters, and we say, oh my God, let's go to a go-kart track, and I'd smoke you, and we'd put down like coins and do all this stuff, and we make a YouTube video and we monetize it, like, they're not going to stop that. So if we did that in Sim, do you think they'd like push back or like try to copyright claim or have a chance to?
Nintendo is always really strict about stuff like that, so I think they would.
Let's do it. I won't put in the work, but someone model and make all those skins for us. We'll make a video, and it might get taken down after an hour.
We got ourselves a legends battle going on at the front of this field. Payson Johnson, one-time national champion. Alexis Leclerc, five-time national champion. And Tyler Lang, also a one-time champion. 7 champions between them. At least in pro motocross competition. Leclerc has a supercross title on his mantle as well. And they are set to duke it out 1, 2, 3 on this racetrack right now. Johnson's sneaking away, but we all know Johnson can sometimes have a little bit of that crash bug reach up and bite him every now and again. Meanwhile, these two are going at it for second on the racetrack, 11 seconds behind Johnson. And Lang is doing everything he possibly can from this position on the racetrack, having to come forward and pass all these guys. He's done a good job so far. We're not even 10 minutes into this moto, and he might have P2 before long.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just a little bit of being away for too long, right? You talked about it. I like Leclerc. He's fun. It's funny, all these people that I didn't really like either while racing them, right, wanted to beat them so badly, or even Payson, right, have grown on me so much. It's fun. I like rooting for all these guys. As long as you're not doing boneheaded moves on the track, like, I like to see good, fun racing, people mix it up, and glad to have Leclerc back, but I think Lang is going to be getting him in the next lap or so. Maybe it'll take 2 laps, and we'll see if Leclerc can kind of kick into another gear, but Lang is just moving up that little bit quicker, and he wants it, and Leclerc's been out of it.
Yeah, Leclerc has not been his normal self, like I said, since he returned. But this is a turn in the right direction so far. I like what I'm seeing out of him, just not quite the pace of what Payson Johnson is putting down out front, no pun intended. But this is a rehash of our 2021 championship fight, T-Lang versus Leclerc. We saw them battling each other every single week, so they know each other's hands quite a bit and know what each of them bring to the table. Also, shout out Austin Partolo, sneaky, hanging with these guys in 4th on that Panini Fantic back there on the number 52 machine. I am partial to that number, of course, so I wish to see him do very well. But honestly, of late, he has been firing on all cylinders, running fastest laps of the race often, and haven't seen him on a 450 much, but he looks good, man. He might be trying to get Lang here for 3rd on the racetrack.
I like the way he jumped out of that line right there. He's got the inside right here. It's a drag race over the hill. No dualies, but Lang is going to get the best of it. It looked like from the camera angle, but just like that around the outside, Partolo is going to move up in the 3rd, and he's not done. He's showing just a little bit more speed than both of these, and I think he's going to be the one that's going to make the pass on Leclerc, and by the looks of his speed, could be by the end of this lap. I think he's just got some lines that are a little bit longer or a little bit better. Small mistake right there. He's going to go around the outside. Can he rail this and get the drive? We've seen it. Looked like a mistake by Leclerc, little side-by-side right there, getting close. Oh, he did hit the back of his front wheel lock, and he is down. Hopefully we see him remount. That's awesome. I love watching that. He started on 250s, right? He was the one who was dicing it up at Hangtown.
Oh, yeah.
And then Impala, really and then just fell off the face of the earth. So.
No, he's had a good season, no question about it, but definitely cool to see him up here mixing it up on a 450. Luke Sullivan's going to go by into 4th as Lang and Leclerc continue their battle. We do have a report, and it looks to be true. Payson Johnson went down. He's down again from the race lead. Johnson is down. That's going to hand the lead over to the man going by right there. Leclerc out front. Lang goes by, so that's going to give Lang some points in his favor. Now we got a race. All right, rub those hands together because Alexis Leclerc just went down as well. Tyler Lang leads at Butts Creek. Oh, how the turntables.
The turn's tabled for sure. Tyler Lang is our race leader right now, and he's the only one that can extend it. We saw Eaglin with a bad spot, so that's what I'm saying. He's the only one that can extend it, and he showed some speed, but I don't know, man. Payson Johnson, if he can hold it together, he had the speed early. Partolo, does he get back into this? I'm so sad. Luke Sullivan there as well, so he's Payson's back and forth. How sick would it have been? Partolo would have been leading this race if he didn't get into the back of Leclerc. Maybe blaming some Frenchy lag right there, hitting in the air, but He jumped into him. Austin Schaefer, Alexis Leclerc. Who else we got? Castellaneta, Body Parker. All these dudes, top 7 or 8. Killian Ortiz, second fastest qualifier. All these dudes up here, and this is a freaking great race we got going on between these guys. Little baby guys right there. Austin Schaefer holding it down in front of Leclerc after Leclerc just had the race lead. Wild stuff here.
Yeah, this is crazy. Also want to give a huge shout out to iMoto251 in the chat room. Thank you so much for your Prime sub. It's very much appreciated and helps us keep the lights on here at Start Your Systems TV. So thank you so much for the support. And we have got a hell of a race going on right here because Lang with the lead, another 7 points gained right now on Payson Johnson to go from 43 down to 36, if my math is correct. And obviously, it still seems like Johnson's title to lose, no question about it. But Lang's been chipping away, just like we talked about Matherly in the first moto. It's definitely not over until the final moto of the year, and we will see what happens of whether Johnson can get the ball rolling again. Leclerc getting by Schaefer on Henry Hill to move back up inside the top 5. He is now 5th as Schaefer tails in behind him. Castellaneta, Parker, Seth Shirley actually in the background as Pardelo's high-centered on a rut right there. He's going to get going now behind Leclerc. And Austin Schaefer got hung up a little bit right there. Bodie Parker now right in behind him. Oh, look at Pardelo ripping around the 5-time champ Doolies up at the top of the hill. He's going to make the pass up into the top 5. It's actually 4th now on the racetrack. Austin Pardelo has come to play here in this 450 class, man. He's flying.
Oh, Pardelo is coming. He's coming for a podium right now. Pardelo, dude, is ripping. Like, this speed, this feels like I'm watching the 250 class at Hangtown where he just came out swinging. But I thought, man, it's awesome. Just seeing that coming down the hill into the mechanics area, seeing like 8 dudes on one hill is awesome. Like, this class is crazy right now. I love what's going on. Yeah, they might be 15 to 20 seconds back of the lead, but I love that we have this pack so close. This class bringing us action, even though, it could have been clinched today and still can if Payson puts some points on. But, man, it's just we're still getting great racing throughout this year, and this class has been amazing. I just want to shout out everyone that we're seeing and all these guys who have brought some action.
I'm trying to figure out what the heck just happened to Luke Sullivan, who is 2nd place. Where did he go? He missed timing gates, I think, or something's going on. Timing and scoring has got him going backwards. He's still battling Payson Johnson for, provisionally speaking, 2nd place on the racetrack, but he is going backwards now, P16. Oh, it's updating again. It seems to be a server issue, so it just now refreshed. He is still P2. Yeah, never went off the track, I don't think. I didn't see a moment where he's off the track, but battling with Johnson now for 2nd. Johnson's going to scoot by. And, get into him, and down he goes. Pardelo's going to scoot by. There goes Leclerc. Here comes Castellaneta. Bodie Parker also going through. Schaefer. There's Shirley on the 2 also going by. Goes from a battle for 2nd all the way to 9th in the blink of an eye. But that was really weird. Someone saying his stream even lagged. So I wonder, maybe had a little bit of a server lag glitch, and finally everything caught back up. But that was such a unique situation to see him just falling down the order. I'm like, man, did he die? No, he's fine.
I was about to start with this whole conspiracy and be like, no, dude, maybe that's why our live timing's not working. Like, something's up with the race server. And then we got Vegas in chat who's just like, nah, his stream lagged, it ended. It's totally his fault. I was like, I was building all this lore inside my head that I was just going to drop on you guys, and it just got shit on. So thank you, Veggies, Vegas in chat.
Veggies.
Thank you for subscribing. Also, Lane Stats Guy, love you. Man, this is crazy.
Yeah, this
I love
race
what we got going on.
17 minutes in, this has given us more than 30 minutes plus 2 laps of action already in this race. So now Johnson's back into 2nd place. He's 11 seconds behind race leader Tyler Lang, and Lang is starting to weave through some lap traffic. So falling the way of Lang right now, at least in terms to win this battle this time out. But we'll see if Johnson can't start winding it back up and doing a little bit of his best Seth Carr impersonation that we saw in the 250 class and reel him back in. Pardelo's back on his horse in 3rd. Leclerc 4th. Castellaneta rounds out the top 5. I kind of want to keep an eye on this man as well, Seth Shirley. He's been cooking 158 flat, 158.7 last time by. He's finally kind of caught the main group again, and he's working on Bodie Parker. Braden Castellaneta right in front of him. He's trying to go up into the top 5. Let's see if this outside line works. I think these guys can still rip the uphill triple from the inside, but Shirley makes it work, man. Crosses back over, gets Bodie Parker. He's now 6th. dicing these guys up, and we know the speed that this man possesses. If he gets it rolling as well, he could be a factor late in this moto.
Yeah, these guys, I love everyone jumping off the side of the track right there because I used to do it too. There's just so many times you also were like, we haven't seen him jump off the track, and then he lands like outside the markers. But those markers don't really mean much. They're just a suggestion. Most of the timing gates are on hay bales and SpongeBob's, just in case you're out there kind of wanting to know, or they should be, and they might not be. But yeah, Seth Shirley making some moves, blowing that rut right there. Look at how they're still able to hold the speed. 450s definitely don't lose as much, but he's trying to work his way up and get past Castellaneta here, just making some small bobbles. But yeah, Seth Shirley, I would really like him to just have one time where a track just clicks and he goes 1-1 and shows us what we're in store for next season, because I know in Supercross it's going to be bad news bears for everyone in this class, because Seth Shirley, that's really where he shines. Braden Carter's going to have something to say about that. Payson Johnson is there. 450 Supercross and even SMX coming up is going to be sick.
It is going to be sick. Very excited for all that's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks. Shirley 2 flat last time by. Who is that down on the inside? It was a lapper, I think, and Shirley goes down. So forget about that. That ain't happening. Let's go back up here and see Johnson 58.6, 2 flat 0.4 for Lang last time by. Not too much time gain. And actually Johnson, in terms of a differential on timing, hasn't gained much overall in the last lap all around. So I think he even made a little bit of a bobble. Partalow's trying to hang tough with him. If you're Johnson here, I know you want to clinch this thing. You want to wrap this thing up early, but is it smart? Is it a smart move here to just go, you know what? Lang's got this. No big deal. I'll just settle with P2. I still have a huge championship lead. No point in breaking my back and maybe losing, let's say, 15 points out of this thing if I go for it.
What's the gap?
Well, it's 43 points, but one thing
Time
to consider.
Gap, sorry. To first?
Well, to first, it's 12 seconds, but if you go all the way back to Colby Eaglin in 10th, he's only 29 seconds off the lead. So you have 2 fall-off crashes for Johnson. You're in 10th place.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of points lost in one moto.
I honestly don't think Payson knows any other speed except for Sen. I saw him before kind of we got to Henry Hill, and right there, you see him doubling, trying to double into inside ruts, trying to work off of braking bumps. He's going to try to throw down his qualifying lap every single lap until the end of the race. And it can come up and bite him, and we've seen a bunch of times where it will. But I think there's a 50-50 chance that he throws it away and goes down just like that. That part of the track sucks too, by the way. I hate Butts Creek. It's so hard. There's just like 85 ruts turning with braking bumps, and like you got to drop off and slam into a face. Look at that. Goes down though. Gonna try to make a move.
Whoa!
Oh,
he's down again.
Did he just?
And he takes Castellaneta with him. We just talked about this happening, though. And there goes Sully. Here comes Seth Shirley. Castellaneta's going to get going in front of him, and he's still making some more mistakes. But here comes Bodie Parker. Oh, looks like Shirley just went down. There is Austin Schaefer, Colby Eaglin. They're still right in tow as well. So Johnson goes all the way back to 6th, and he could slip as far back as outside the top 10 here before long unless he gathers it back up here. This is problems for our championship leader.
You're 100% right. It could go. I was gonna say he was going down as I was saying it. God damn it. It's a 50-50 shot when Payson Johnson's 15 seconds back and it's 20 minutes into a moto. It's a 50-50 shot that he just puts down heaters, wins the race by 15 seconds, or he starts crashing a bunch and falls back. Like you can't predict him. He's a sicko. Like it's crazy the stuff that he's able to do. But I guess we're seeing it. But look, he can also just come back to second, lose 3 points, and be like, okay, dude, I'm going to end up winning next moto and going in with a 43-point gap. Like, look at that line he's trying. I don't know if he's trying to get to the inside or if he wants to land there. But I think he doesn't care. I think he doesn't care if he gets 10th. Because guess what? He's like, I'll just win next moto, and I'll come in, 36 points up with 1 round to go, and I'll clinch after 1 moto next week. So
I feel like what you just described Johnson as, though, is he's very like Eli Tomac-ish. He has beast mode in him. It can come out at any time, and he could have some of the most incredible moto rides we've ever seen. And look, it still might happen. We got 8 minutes plus 2 laps left to go here. But on the flip side, there's also moments where you're just like, what is happening? Like, I don't get it, because it's just odd, weird crashes for a guy that is so consistent with his speed. Sometimes he's going to pass Leclerc to get back into 4th here. But even those last 2 crashes were just so strange. Like, you just don't expect to see it out of someone of his caliber, but 2 in a row and put himself in a bit of a deficit. He's already clawing it back, though. He's trying to get 3rd on Luke Sullivan here at the top of the hill. He doesn't care about any of it. He's just going full speed, full send, trying to get back into a podium spot.
Yeah, your mind is crazy just because you're like, oh, 2021, this happened. I have no idea. So whatever year that weirdo Eli Tomac was, where there was beast mode, but weirdo Tomac, where it's like, break your pants. I think it was the break your pants years. He goes in 2018, then trying to make a pass on Sullivan, goes down, and he's off the bike. He's like that, but that's with him of like, can he go and win this race, or will he fall 5 more times but still get 3rd?
Yeah.
Like, it's a different type, but that's how Tomac was in real life. It was Tomac went and won 3 races in a row, but now he's getting 8th, 9th, and 10th. Like, what's going on? That's kind of where Payson Johnson is, as far as like, he's unpredictable, but he's still hands down the fastest guy. And the thing is, he can do this for a whole season, 22 motos, and he'll still win the championship almost a race early. Like, it's he's a sicko. So maybe it's not 50-50. Maybe it's like 70-30 or 60-40.
Look at this. Johnson versus Shirley. Dualies on the big gulp right there. And that is very interesting. Another thing of note is Colby Eagland also went by in that little exchange right there. He's now P6 on the racetrack, so he as well is putting himself into a position to keep the championship fight alive for another week. Again, it is so far for Johnson for these guys to still catch him and win this title, but it is never over until it is over. And right now, with Johnson running in the 8th position and Lang leading, I think Lang is pulling back about 13 points on him. So it'd go from 43 to 30 in a single moto, and he's down again. Very lucky not to fall off the bike right there. Schaefer's right there. Bodie Parker not too far back. The worst he's going to get by the looks of it is 10th, where Bodie Parker is. So that would be, I think, 11 points or so. But again, it's just so weird that he keeps having these moments, because he had it so in his grasp earlier, as there's Leclerc down after, and he takes Shirley with him. Shirley's down in an odd spot here. Johnson goes by, and he's going to get going just as Schaefer and Parker split him, and they're in a nice little fight of their own, now battling for 8th. As Parker takes it, Johnson back up to 7th. Leclerc in P6. P5 now for Colby Eagland. Castellaneta 4th. Sully in 3rd. Partolo still 2nd. We have got a battle for the lead. Tyler Lang is not a foregone conclusion of winning this moto just yet. Austin Partolo has showed up in the big boy class, and he has got his big boy pants on. He wants to go win this thing.
Yeah, I love what I'm seeing from Partolo right now, and yeah, T-Lane going down definitely helped Partolo get close, but now he's got a breath of fresh air. 26 minutes into the moto, just crossed, so 4 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Tyler Lang, that's how long he needs to hold on. He needs this first if he wants to have any chance of somehow getting this championship. Maybe a couple explosive motos from Payson Johnson, he goes out and wins, but Partolo wants to get it. And I don't know, for right now, for some reason, I love Tyler Lang. I don't think I've ever spoken one word to him, but I'm like rooting for him, like to do something crazy and make this championship close. But then I also want Partolo to go out and win this race, because he's just looked sick. So I don't know. I'm becoming fans weirdly for no reason or random reasons for these guys. I would be happy with either of them winning. I just want to see a great race. I want everyone to have fun. I want both teams to have fun.
I want everyone to have fun. I mean, this race, though. Oh, Partolo down at the finish line jump.
He's not having fun.
Very weird spot to go down. Yeah, it looks like he missed it, so he's got to get turned around. Sully, that was not Sully going by, but he's going to be there now. Sully's only going to be about 4 seconds back of him. Then Castellaneta, Eagland, and Johnson. How close are these guys to Johnson? Parker, Schaefer, and Seth Shirley are about 8 seconds back of Johnson now, so he's got some room, or does he? He was just off the track. Here comes Parker. Johnson, he's just sending, man. I think he doesn't care. I don't think he cares anymore.
I think the amount of points he has, he's even more degaff than normal.
Rider down was that was not Leclerc. That was Hubbard, I think.
He's just like, I can do this. Hubbard. Yeah, 76. Or that's Brandon Larson, I think.
Yeah.
He just doesn't care. He doesn't need to care. He's got so many points. He can get 10th, lose 10 points every time, and still win the championship. Like, it's just, I don't know. I think he's just I'm gonna go fast and see what happens. But I also think that might just be his every time, right? Like he's not in champion. Every race he goes out, that's what he does. He's not in championship mode. I don't know. I almost wish he clinched. We'll talk to him next week if he doesn't. But I almost wish he clinched because I want to tell him and be like, I wanted to ask him and be like, dude, what's your attitude? You just like don't care. You're so fast, and you're like, yeah, let's just go fast, and that's fun. Like.
Hey, look, it's worked. I mean,
it has worked.
You can't fault him for it, man, because every time he goes out there, it's exciting. No question about it. He gives the entertainment value to this series and makes it so interesting for us to dissect all this stuff and figure out who the heck is going to win this championship at season's end. It looks like it's still heading his way, but this race is far from over. And we might still even have some more points in the favor of T-Lang, who's got himself a 16-second lead. Colby Eaglin, who I was just about to start talking about, has gone down. He made it all the way up to 4th. He's going to allow Leclerc to go by. He's going to get up just as Johnson comes down Henry Hill. Johnson is going to pass him, and that is a pass that could potentially eliminate Colby Eaglin from championship contention. He was 49 down, needs to be less than 50 down leaving here, and is exactly 50 down as it runs. But of course, we still have another moto to go after this. But Johnson putting a little bit of stamp there on potentially eliminating another competitor in this series in the fight for the championship. Eaglin's got to go back to work as Johnson tries to get his feet back underneath of him again.
Yeah, poor Eaglin. I mean, he's had a great season. I've always been a fan of him. I don't know. He is loose, throws whips, and he's been around for a long time too. He's just been kind of steady from 250s up to 450s. He's fun to watch and easy to root for. Seems like he keeps his nose out of kind of everything, just goes out and races hard. It's a bummer to see him get eliminated. And yeah, normally you would need 51 to clinch, but Payson, I think, has all tiebreakers on everyone. So it is a solid 50 and you are done. Even if you tied, you would lose. So right now, yeah, Colby Eaglin mathematically eliminated from this championship, but still a great season, a great ride. 2024 on the number 24, and he's had a great season, man. And small mistake right there, gonna lose some time, but I want to shout out, I don't know how much some of these guys go back and watch, but I feel like they need to pat themselves on the back. And I like to I'm getting old, I want everybody to be happy. I want to give them their props, give them their flowers when they're due. And yeah, so moving on to him, Payson Johnson trying to hunt down Alexis Leclerc on his return. It's been a wild one. This race has been crazy for some of these guys.
It has. 30 minutes have come and gone, so the 2-lap board is about to come out for our race leader, Tyler Lang. Leclerc is going to have to deal with Payson Johnson for the 4th time that they've probably gone back and forth in this moto. Johnson trying to get back into the top 5, and I think would walk away with 17 points under the new point system, so losing 8 points from 43 down to 35 if he gets around Alexis Leclerc. That is, of course, if Lang holds on to win this in the final 2 laps. Leclerc is just doing what he can, though, to get back to his normal self, and making Johnson work for it is something that Leclerc is certainly accustomed to, as they have raced each other a lot over the years. And cool to see the one machine back out here putting the fight to Payson Johnson again. Now the question is, does Johnson get this thing back underneath of him? Because he's got a big enough gap to Eaglin where he might be able to just start sending it again, but that also might be a bad thing for him to do because he might go down again as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna change. Doesn't change, no matter what's happening. So I think he's just rides the same. But yeah, Payson. I think Leclerc's got to get on it. But I mean, dude, how we're seeing Payson, I think Payson gets by him.
Whoa!
Oh my!
Exit stage right.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I can't predict these guys. I want Leclerc to hold on. Screw it. Hold on. It's 32 minutes in. Probably white. No white flag when they come around. Did we watch?
Well, next time by will be white flag.
Leclerc's got a lap and a half to hold on in front of Payson Johnson. Your first race back, just to beat him, would be an accomplishment. I hope he can hold on to it. Yeah.
Is that Sully down? Sully down out of third place and slips back behind these guys. He is now in 6th. Amazingly, Johnson in 5th. Still has a shot at 2nd place in this race. He's trying to get Leclerc. Leclerc is trying to go after Castellaneta, who's now in a podium position. And Castellaneta is right behind Austin Pardello. They have completely lost touch with T-Lang. And Johnson might have an outside shot here with 1 lap to go coming up to maybe still sneak up and get P2 in this one. Really do as much as he can to not let Lang have too many points fall back in his favor. That would be incredible to see if he can make this happen.
Yeah, I mean, and then that just loosens him up a little bit more for a great performance in Moto 2, or just can really breathe and just has to score like 2 points at round 11 here, going into our finale, trying to clinch this title. So Payson Johnson power wheeling the whole way down the straight. Yeah, these guys, I don't think it's deep. I think maybe they just have traction. And they're like, oh, it's just faster if I wheelie over everything. Keeping that front wheel off the ground. Made a small mistake up that step up, but still running crazy lap times. 156.6, I think, as his best lap of the race, matches his qualifying time, if I'm correct. Maybe he had a 156.3. Either way, Payson Johnson is crazy fast. He's got a lot of riders right in front of him. What can he do with 1 lap to go?
Well, let's see. He's got Leclerc right in his grasp if he can go get him right now. And then Partello and Castellaneta are just up the road. Castellaneta just got by Partello for second as they're going down the hill in front of these guys. Johnson's just trying to figure out what is the best way to get Leclerc as he misses the inside rut right there. Leclerc gets a little bit of breathing room. Here is Partello. They have, I think, Hubbard or maybe Bilar's between them. Partello's trying to get Castellaneta back for second at the top of the hill as they have their fight. Leclerc is still holding off Johnson in the background as they come down into this tricky off camber. Everyone trying to hit this rut cleanly. They do. Leclerc has still got Johnson behind him. This could go a lot of different ways between 2 through 5 on the racetrack here, with less than half a lap to go. Tyler Lang is out front. He is on his way to winning this moto. He's a few turns from stamping this thing off as he's got 20 seconds out front in the lead. Johnson up alongside Leclerc, not able to get there yet. Switches back to the inside and goes down. Big crash for Payson Johnson. Now it's on these guys to try to sort it for P2 on the racetrack. Partello over Henry Hill trying to scrub it and figure out a way to get back by. Not close enough yet on Castellaneta. Meanwhile, 1 turn to go at the top of the hill. This man is doing everything he possibly can to bring this thing down to the final race of the season, and he is going to win Moto number 1 here at Budds Creek. Goes to Tyler Lang.
Yeah, great ride by Tyler Lang. Look at Castellaneta, absolutely railed that corner. Maybe looked faster because of the way the camera jerked, but Partello trying to make something happen up the inside. Final corner. Whoa! He gets in the back of him.
Down with Castellaneta staying on 2 wheels, and Partello's going to miss the box. It's going to be Leclerc. Sully went by as well. Partello's trying to get going before Johnson gets there, and he will. Johnson in the last turn falls all the way back to P6. And he will cross in that position. He will stay in that position as well. Shirley's too far back as Johnson nails a nice little 360. But that was unbelievable to see that sequence on the final lap. And Johnson, I think, is only going to walk out of here with 15 or 14 points. So we're down to 33 or 32 points of a gap. Shirley barely beats Eaglin to the line. Bodie Parker and Austin Schaefer. Devin Davis snuck up on Schaefer, trying to get into the top 10 late in this one. What a wild sequence that was, though, and Lang walks away as your winner. Johnson not looking like he is in a position where he can clinch this title early.
Yeah, shout out D. Davis, hard fought 11th, proud of you. I just gotta cheer him on. Old man class out here for us. Once again, I don't know Austin Partello. I'm so sad for what just happened. He was making that pass. There was a mistake happening in front of him. Ryder going down, just got into him. Such a bummer to fall back and lose that P2. All these guys coming across. Sorry, Jeff Cooper coming across in 15th. Man, crazy. 6th place. That's 7.
4.
7 points.
7 points?
From 1st to 6th.
No, it's not. Come on.
3.
You're so much
2,
better at math than
2.
this.
That's 7. 8, 9, 10. 10?
10, probably.
Oh, okay, so my math, what I've always known is 10th place gets you 11 points. 11th place gets you 10 points.
Yeah, but I think
that's
we're
all
under the
I
new
know,
scoring
but
system
the winner
anyway.
gets 25. So I forgot about the 15.
I think we're under the new scoring system anyway.
That's stupid, though.
So I'm pretty sure that Lang with the win just picked up 25 points, and Cuts make it official now. Castellaneta 22. Alexis Leclerc gets 20 points. Sullivan gets 18. Then Partello gets 17 points. Johnson gets 16 points. So I think it's actually 9. It's either 9 or 10, but I forget.
Should be 10.
Someone has have to remind me what RaceFactory is doing, because I heard earlier in the year they're doing the new point system, but they're not giving 21st a point. So I don't know.
So it used to be 3, 2, 2.
Yeah, it used
so
to be,
25, 22, 20,
18, 16.
Oh yeah, so even more points
Yeah.
than 15 down. So that would have been 3, 2, 5, 7.
He would have lost
9.
10 points on the old system, but I think he only lost 9 just now.
I'm so dumb.
So it would have went either
Look at that.
33 or 34. I think it's a 34-point lead now with 3 motos to go. So Lang still has to claw back 12 points on average pretty much the last,
Yeah.
3 motos of the year. It's unlikely,
He's
but
screwed. But he did what he needed to do. Look at him sitting on the podium, hanging out with some dude drinking a nice latte. ISC on the podium. What are we doing here?
is it a bush latte?
No, it's not even a good one.
Not even a good
Who's
one.
that look like more, me or Justin?
I don't know.
I think it
man.
looks like Justin, kind of.
Yeah, I think that's more of a Justin.
When
look.
Justin doesn't have his little foo-foo hair going on.
His foo-foo hair.
I did just buzz my hair, shave the mustache. Sad.
Sad. All right,
Sad.
that is our 450 Moto 1 done. 250 Moto 2 is coming up next. I still can't get timing and scoring to load. I don't know what is going on. Like my windows are broken or something like that. So I'm just going to open a new window and see if I can get Battlegrounds to load and see if we can't get some live timing. Hey, there we go. Maybe it's going to work
I
now.
don't think so. That's
Yeah.
what it's looked like the whole time, right?
No, it's now showing the right riders again. So I don't know. We'll see. But for the first moto, in case you weren't with us, Cade Matherly picked up the win. Seth Carr got second. It's a 22-point difference between the two of them. So it's mathematically impossible now for Seth Carr to leave here as the champion this evening. But does it get closer? Does Matherly bring this thing down again and go 1-1 to sweep Budds Creek?
I'm supposed to like expand on this, but I don't know. Seth Carr should win. Seth Carr no, he doesn't. Seth Carr had a terrible start, got the whole shot first time. Remember, people forget, but I'll tell you, Seth Carr is going to get a good shot. He is my Design Lab Co. whole shot pick. Seth Carr, I think he reboots and they go 1-2 and nothing changes.
All right. So that is your Design Lab Co. whole shot pick. Head over to thedesignlabco.com. I was off the wall in the first moto and I wasn't close. Maverick Snyder got it
Who
in
do
the
you
first
pick?
moto.
Jack something?
I picked Jack Gatland. I don't even think he scored points maybe, but
No, he didn't. He was with all the Jack Marks and all those guys.
yeah, it's a tough go. You know what? I'm going to go Ryan Cheesecake Chowsey. I think Ryan Chowsey's been getting good starts of late. I could see him busting a
You're
whole
just
shot here.
doing
real
that
quick.
for chat.
I am doing it for
Twitch
chat.
chat's gonna start freaking out over all the cheesecake
Oh my
heads.
God, he picked cheesecake.
Oh, I got cheesecake. It's my daddy.
iMoto in chat, by the way, says a record on the line for next week. Seth Carr could be the first rider to ever sweep fastest qualifiers in MX. Dirt Track is stoked, man. Cheesecake.
Read the final line of that. Keep going.
Have to go through D Davis's 20,000 forum posts.
Also, probably not even in the.
Should I make an
saturation.
MX Sim video on the Starter Systems main channel? That's like the top 10 most posts in MX Simulator history.
It's Devin Davis by a long shot. I think he's better now. I don't go on there.
Yeah,
There
most
was
people
a-
don't really post on the forums.
There was a
anyway,
point
so.
because the forums used to be the thing before Discord, right? Everyone had their private team speaks, but the forums was where it all went down. Shit got talked. The second a race finished, there would just be 3 more pages. Every moto, 3 more pages because people would just post. I feel like I averaged like 3 to 4 posts a day, and that's on not race days. Like it went down in the DMs on the forums. Devin Davis, I love you, but I think he had a thing where he was at like 20 forum posts a day or something, which is just absolutely crazy.
I don't know.
I think it went down. I hope it went down, but you can go through like, yeah, if you make a video like MX Sim history, right, on your tip of the iceberg, you could be like, it was the forums, and
Yeah.
this happened.
I really wish that we still had the post-race breakdowns on the forums, dude. It was so great. You'd refresh that page and shit would just be hitting
Yeah,
the fan. People
and-
would be posting tank memes. We'd have stuff like going all over the place. It was incredible. So honestly, can we bring that back, chat? If I got everyone in chat after the race to go give their opinions after the race, can we do forum posts every week? That'd be unbelievable.
I think does it go down that hard in RF Discord?
It goes down some direction. I don't know about hard, but we'll see. All right, one more moto in this 250 class here this evening to go, and we're going to see who comes out with the Design Lab Co. whole shot to kick things off. So let us drop the gate once again. I picked Cheesecake. You picked, who was it again? You picked Carr over Matherly? Or did
Seth
you pick
Carr.
So Seth Carr, Nerona down here, a lot of Yammies on the inside. 30 car to sideways, revs are up. Gate is down again at Budds Creek. 250 Moto 2 launches to life. Seth Carr's got a pretty good one, but he actually backs out of the challenge. Evan Holt is there first. He's trying to battle with Wilczek to get control of the corner. Tharp is right there. I think it's Holtzy by a nose. Design Lab Cole, whole shot with Tharp trying to get around the outside line, but Holtzy takes the early race lead. Everybody in the background jockeying for those positions, and it's going to be Tharp taking the lead here to complete lap number 1. Caden Specs up here. There is Holtzy, Xander Brion, Max Wilczek with a good start. So we'll have to figure out where our championship rivals are. But Tharp leads early. Here's Spec to the outside for the race lead. He's going to get it as Tharp gets swapped to the lead, and he is going to drop all the way back into the 4th position behind Brion. And our leader now is Caden Speck.
Yeah, Caden Speck, nice early move to the lead, and he was in that kind of mid battle of just like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all race long in the first moto. Let's see what he can do with a good start. It's great. Cade Matherly coming across the top of your screen in 10th, so that's something to keep an eye on. So
Seth Carr 27th.
Seth Carr 27th, and I don't know if he wouldn't have fallen off the bike, but so he got a good jump out the gate, got a nice power wheelie, but it got too out of control. He wheelied, he fell back, and he hit someone's rear wheel, got front end lock, and kind of went sideways, probably got hit, went down, I don't think off the bike, but that was where my pick went. I was keeping an eye on him. So 27th place, though. You've got Cade in 10th. What happens? Does Cade have the ability to come up and get a win? And if he does, I think Seth Carr has the ability to just come up and get second, if not challenge for that win.
All right, so we're going to find out in this moto whether or not these guys getting the early advantage like Caden Speck, Xander Brion. We also have Tharp still up here. Whether or not they can maybe run away as Tharp whips in Brion's face heading up to Henry Hill. That was really tight right there, and Brion probably not going to take too kindly to that. Lucas Brune is up in 4th early on, just ahead of Dylan Dallaire. Jax Lindsay in 6th. Garrett Hollenbeck 7th, Cepeda 8th. Matherly is in 9th, just in front of Carr's teammate, Jeremy Seabolt. So I'm curious as well how Seabolt races Matherly in this instance. I don't think there's any hostility between the teams, but there's always interesting, topics of discussion when you have other teammates around in this situation. Matherly, I don't think, has any Twizzy teammates on the track, because I think his only Twizzy teammate we see around often is Payson Johnson. Look at this. Inside move for Seabolt, trying to show a nose to Matherly. Doesn't get there just yet. And now Matherly goes to work up ahead of him on the number 56 machine of Emmanuel Cepeda. Where is Seth Carr? He is still in 26th place right now, as timing and scoring is showing us. He's got a load of work to do, but Matherly's got a lot to do as well.
Yeah, he does. Shout out to Caden Speck leading this race. He is everyone's hero right now. Led the first lap, fastest lap of the race. Flip it, bro. You got that. No one has to know it was first lap. Really awesome start by him. Yeah, Cade's got some work to do. Look at all the guys he's right behind, though. This can go really good or really bad when you're in with such a tight pack, right? Someone can go down in your rut, and then you end up losing 3 or 4 spots. And you know that Seth Carr is dealing with the same stuff back in the pack. So it's all about who can pick their way through cleanly. There's luck, there's racecraft involved, and then there's just speed, right? Are you going to be smart enough to hit the brakes right there and not get taken out? Or maybe go for some lines that aren't the fastest, but they're going to take you away. Look at this inside line.
Ooh.
I wouldn't have gone for that because now there's a pile up there, right? He got really lucky there, and it's going to be a battle of the minds as well as just their speed and keeping on 2 wheels between these two to see where they finish.
Matherly up to 8th. Seth Carr now into points. He's 19th, so he is starting to weave through the field a little bit as well, as Matherly goes up the inside of Hollenbeck to move into 7th. Next up for him, he's still trying to tail Cepeda. Cepeda's going forward quite well here with Lucas Brune side by side with Jax Lindsay over Henry Hill. Nice little dually scrubs right there between the two of them, and they're fighting still for it at the bottom of the hill. Brune is going to hold Jax Lindsay at bay and make a nice pass to hold on to that 4th position, but Matherly's finding himself in a bit of a sandwich once again. He's trying to get Cepeda. He's right in front of Hollenbeck, and here comes my daughter Holly flying into the room, laughing. She's a giggle factory. What do you got to say, people? Or what do you got to say to the people,
tell the
Holly?
people.
It's so funny.
You don't want to talk, Holly?
Doesn't even want to talk. She's just
A little
laughing.
nervous,
She's just a giggle
straight
factory
Giggle
over here.
fest.
What do you want to say?
I want candy. I want candy. I want candy.
I want candy. I want candy. I want candy.
That's a good
I'm assuming
song.
Mommy gave her some, or maybe I don't know. She's riled up
just-
right now.
50 hair clips on earlier when I saw her. Mom's living her best life too. We love you, Hannah.
That is
Visit
wild
from our
what's going on.
dogs too. It's a lot going on in
this
here
is-
today.
Everything just happened in the studio altogether. Matherly is up to 6th now, trying to keep an eye on where Seth Carr is getting to. He is now 14th, so just as much progress through these guys as Matherly is making. Carr is doing that and double. He is passing guys 2 or 3 at a time in all these corners right now. Matherly's got to get a move on because Carr is making such good inroads. He's going to be on the back wheel of him before long.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. I was thinking about like Disney Channel original movies. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Carr's. The thing is, Carr's working through people in the field that, one, you can see on the track map, maybe all those dots are a little bit closer together. So he is going to make passes as long as he's smart, but they're also the guys that are in a little bit worse positions. So they're probably a little bit slower. Could be fast guys with bad starts, but Cade makes a pass up the inside route there, has to double though, and we see that work out again this 250 class. Just because you make the pass out of the corner doesn't mean you end up with the pass at the top of the hill. So Cade unable to solidify that pass, but he's working on it, trying to get into the top 5 and work his way up front. I think he's got this is the same as the end of first moto. He needs to get into first, just like those lappers he was trying to pass. Get into first faster than I think Seth Carr gets to, like, by the time he gets to 5th.
Yeah, I agree.
Or else it's trouble.
A little bit of gap between them would definitely help quite a bit. He is just trying so hard, working every different angle you can think to get around Jax Lindsay into the top 5 right here. It's Wyatt Grant behind them, Hollenbeck, Cepeda, Brion, Gatlin, and then Carr. So Carr has now found his way around his teammate Jeremy Siebolt right there, I think, on the 10. So he's moved forward into the 11th position, and it's going to be 10th here because he's going to go by a flipping Xander Brion right there. So top 10 now for Seth Carr. He's only about 3 or 4 positions behind Cade Matherly, who still has not found his way by Jax Lindsay. This battle is hurting Matherly a ton right now in his quest to try to get to the front of the field. Spec still leads by 9 seconds, but Matherly has got to get Jax Lindsay here quick. That was Tharp down. That was Tharp down, and Matherly goes up into the top 5. Now he's trying to get Jax Lindsay for 4th.
Yeah, shout out another great start by Jack Lindsay and Dylan Dallaire. These guys are awesome. Dallaire after that great qualifying time. Jax Lindsay with a great first moto. Cade does need to make this pass. Awesome to get a pass by someone going down over a berm, right, that you don't even have to worry about him. But he has been hung up battling with Jax Lindsay for longer than I think he would hope. So I think he's got to find a way to make a pass, and I think this is also just seeing that Cade isn't maybe known for his top-end speed on most tracks, right? It'll come and go, but I think that he's got that kind of diesel, right? He's going to make this pass. We'll watch him scrub the double, Jax triples, and he won't have the pass. It'll be a couple bike links. So I think Cade really just, maybe these guys have the speed, but maybe not the consistency that Cade has. He wants to move up quick, but he might have to just wait and let the race come to him.
Well, now Lucas Brun and Jax Lindsay are in a hellacious battle in front of him, trying to figure out who wants to be P3. Brun is going to get back by Jax Lindsay, and then closing up behind them is still Braden Tharp. So this is getting really interesting as P3 is basically right in front of him. He's going to move up to 4th, finally gets by Jax Lindsay. That's a huge pass right there. Now can he go get Brun quickly to get up into 3rd as Tharp is just working his way forward, trying to get around Jax Lindsay now. And then I'd have to imagine Seth Carr not too far back of that. Yeah, now he's on Hollenbeck, Wyatt Grant. These guys are working their way forward. Carr just ran the fastest lap of the race at 1:59.835. He is flying, trying to get Hollenbeck now into P9. Not going to get it just yet, but we'll continue to track the progress as Matherly goes to work for P3 on Lucas Brun. It is still Caden Speck, Dylan Dallaire, Lucas Brun, Cade Matherly, Jax Lindsay, your top 5, and all eyes are on this championship fight in the closing stages here, round 10 of 11 in Race Factory Gaming competition.
Yeah, lap times may say something different, but I honestly think as this race goes on, I honestly think that Cade Matherly had similar lap times to Jax Lindsay, or at least so similar to where he wasn't able to make a pass, and he was able to luckily be in the right place at the right time to make the move when Jax made that small mistake. I think that's kind of how Cade has to do it. Seth Carr seems to be one where he can just kind of make something appear out of thin air. I think Cade is just a little bit closer in speed to these guys to where he's got to wait for that mistake. He does look to be doing well moving on Bruin, and look at that small mistake blowing over that rut. That's where it looked like there was going to be something happen. Both of them going to the inside, so this could be something here. Can he get the wheel up, gain a little bit of speed, scrub a little bit lower? That's where you can get it, and he did. He gained too much speed, scrubbed right almost into the rear wheel of Lucas Bruin right there, and actually had to slow down, and that allows Jax Lindsay to look come up just a little bit closer and feel like he's got a way to try to make a pass back.
It's crazy as fast as these guys are going that it's they're still about 17 seconds off. As I say that, though, it looks like our leader Spec may have just gone down. Delaire is not too far behind him. So there is Spec, there is Delaire, then not too far behind them, about 6 seconds back, is this wild fight still going on for P3 on the racetrack. Matherly has just been inching closer and closer. Carr still in 9th place, and as we crest into the first or the middle stanza of this race, we've gone 10 minutes in and still 20 minutes to go. Matherly just has to figure out how to get by Lucas Bruin, get some clean racetrack, and go run down Dylan Delaire and Caden Speck for the lead. He's proven that the consistency angle has worked, but he's got to make this pass stick, and he's finally going to do it. A mistake for Bruin. Matherly up into the podium position. He's now in 3rd.
Yeah, can you just let me know where Seth Carr is?
He is in 9th. We can actually go back to him now.
Seth Carr in 9th. Yeah, so making that pass, Cade did up into 3rd right there. Seth Carr in 9th, and hard-fought battles. Looked like that might be the pass for 8th, and that was on Emmanuel Cepeda. He's now got Braden Tharp and Wyatt Grant. Shout out Wyatt Grant. In 7th to kind of work through right here. But you see them. There's 2 or 3 guys. Braden Tharp close, then 2 more guys pretty close. He's working his way through all the guys that Cade was having to go through. I think it'll be interesting to see once he gets up to the rear wheel, how long does it take him to make the passes? Because I think Cade, like I said, is waiting for the mistakes, and I think Seth Carr is making the passes happen. He's just had a lot more work to go through. 10th place is where Cade was at early on. Carr was all the way back in 27th. So 17 more guys he's had to pass up to this point. There's a lot of race to go. I think, if we keep watching Seth Carr here, I do think either he'll follow Braden Tharp up, or we're going to see him start making some passes on everyone quick. And look at that. Wyatt Grant is side by side with Braden Tharp.
Ooh. Wait.
Carr down.
Yeah, Carr actually got sideways, did not fall off the bike. So that is a crucial save right there. I don't know how Wyatt Grant and Tharp didn't go down together. They just kind of bounced off each other. Always interesting to see JLV physics at work. We have got a battle brewing for the lead. Caden Speck is feeling the heat from Dylan Delaire, and this is going to be very interesting to see as these two start dicing it up, if they start falling back into the clutches of Matherly, who is in 3rd behind them. But Speck has led just about every single lap of this race since the beginning, and now 13 minutes in, he has been caught by Phil's Ski and Snowboard new hot shoe, Dylan Delaire, and it's going to be for the lead as down goes Speck from the front. Delaire takes it over, and now let's see if he can run away with this thing.
Yeah, Speck going down hard right there. Dylan Delaire, man, I don't want this to sound bad. Where did he come from? I see number 38. I know his 39. I know his name. I've seen him
around.
He's
not number 39. He's number 229. He's just running a Phil's someone else's bike. Yeah.
I've heard his name before. I saw he's Canadian, but where the hell did he come from? And he's
Canada,
just out
bro.
here. Obviously, but that's not what I meant. So Dylan Delaire qualifies fast, 3rd, I think, up there, and then just coming out and now leading this moto. Awesome for him. I don't want that to sound mean, but has he been around this season? Because your memory is better than mine. Mine sucks, but has he been racing?
Yeah, dude, he has been here.
He's been 30th?
He's been getting slowly but surely better. That's why they tendered him a contract over there at that Phil Ski and Snowboard freaking barn dominium they got over there.
His own bike and gear, though?
I know. Couldn't get him his own bike and gear. Still on Braden Carter about that. But he now leads this thing, and he is trying to pull away from Caden Speck. Matherly is going to see Speck now closing up in front of him and want to close that gap down. By the way, update on Seth Carr. He moved up into 8th, remember, and was right behind Wyatt Grant. He is now 9th. He's still behind those guys as they jockey for positions. Look at this crazy battle right now going on for 4th. Cepeda, Wyatt Grant, Jax Lindsay going at it. Lucas Bruin just behind them. Then Tharp, Seabolt, and then Carr. So he's got them all right in front of him. He's got it all to play for, but this could also go so many bad ways as well for Carr as he tries to make these passes. And if he ends up going down and finishing behind all these guys while Matherly goes up front, tries to battle for the win, this could get really interesting here down the stretch run with still just 2 motos to go after this.
I am more worried about this moto than I was about the first moto, which I was pretty worried about for Seth Carr's sake.
Oh, he's down.
He goes down. I was sorry. I could have called that, but I just saw it, and I was in mind blown because I didn't know if he could save it. Seth Carr makes a mistake, pushes over that rut, catches on the next one, and flips and goes down. So that's only another few spots, but that's another 10 seconds to every single person. So it's not just the 2 spots that he lost. It's all the points that he needs to try to get back. So that puts him back to 12th place.
Yep.
So this is going to be huge, right? He was able to battle back and minimize points damage in the first moto, but if things keep going like this is where the championship pressure gets to him. Red plate or not, it's not a number 1 plate. Cade is here fighting to the end, trying to make moves, and we'll see how far he can get. Trying to go up front, take it from Dylan Delaire, make some moves. Seth Carr is going to get another position back, but Seth Carr, it's his championship to throw away, or it was coming into this, and he's doing a pretty good job of it right now. What he needs to do is buckle in for these next 14 minutes plus 2 laps and see what he can do. It's time to stop the bleeding Seth Carr.
So I heard someone say that the RF point system, they actually use the old point system to determine the standings and new system to determine overalls, which makes no sense at all. But if it is with the old point system as it runs with him in 11th, he'd be picking up 10 points while Matherly's picking up 20. So in that case, Matherly, who is 22 down after the first moto, is actually only 12 down as it runs live on track.
Oh!
And Jack Gatlin just went down with Seabolt, so that's going to be 2 more points for Seth Carr as he moves up to 9th now. And as you said, 9th is 12 points. So 12 points for P9 on the racetrack. And what do you mean you don't know?
I don't know anything. My math, I think. Because 9th, I don't know.
9th is 12
10th
points.
is 11, 9th is 12. Yes, okay,
Yeah.
sorry. So 13 points you're losing off the lead?
Well, if Matherly wins
Or
this moto,
26?
yes.
Okay, I don't know, dude.
But we'll figure this out. We still have
We'll get there when it's time.
7
He's gaining a shit ton of points right now, and that's bad news bears for Seth Shirley. Cade needs to focus up and go and get first. 4.5 seconds back to second. Who is that? Caden Speck.
Caden Speck,
Caden
yeah.
Speck and Dylan Delaire. He's got to go, man. He's being given a gift right now. This is Cade. If he goes 1-1, that's a freaking badass ride by him. And he did everything he could.
Yeah,
and his car is fumbling the bag, cracking under pressure, whatever you want to call, blowing it.
And look, you go back to last year and the turmoil that Matherly went through where he was in a must situation in terms of leading the championship and just had to deliver and get decent results. And he had to come from dead last in the last moto of the year, got it all the way back to a tie with Seth Shirley. We thought that it was going to be in his favor in terms of the tiebreaker, but it went to Shirley instead. So Matherly's been in a position where he's had to do what Seth Carr is doing right now. Now he's doing it the opposite way, where he's just going out trying to win every moto, maximize his points haul, and he looks every bit the veteran presence that we know him as being in this 250 division, man. He is making it count when he needed to the most. He is going up there trying to battle for these race wins and putting all the pressure on Seth Carr to deliver, and he's not really doing it. He's kind of faltering at the moment with his current positioning. He's already back to 10th right now. He lost another position to Jack Gatlin. He's trying to gain it back. He does go by. Looks like he's in 9th, but again, not really coming through when he needs to the most.
Yeah, 1.6, 1.5 seconds so far gained this lap by Cade on P2, so that's awesome for him. I like watching the way he's picking his way around the track, not trying to push anything, because the guys in front of you are going to make mistakes. You are the guy that is in the championship battle. You are the veteran, right? You've got those skills and that knowledge. Ride it smooth and let the race come to you. You have time. What I think is amazing is Cade sucked in the middle of the season with his starts. He was up front early. It was back and forth. Oh my God, what's going to happen? They were trading overalls and stuff. Oh,
he's down.
Slides out and goes down. That's an off-camber uphill. Another off-camber sneaky goes down. So that's huge hit for him. But Cade starts really is what's been awesome for him this round, because we've talked so much. Oh my God, he's going to gain points. And then Seth Carr hole shots and he's in 15th and he has to come back to second. That's why this small gap slowly widened when it was so close early. Cade did everything he needed to do with the starts, but that small mistake, it's okay, dude. 10 minutes plus 2 laps to go. I still think there's a chance he gets up there and can get this and go 1-1. I don't think it's over for Cade. He knows what he needs to do. He knows where Carr is on the track, and he knows this is his championship right here. Getting this thing down under 10 points going into the last round, that's putting all the pressure on Carr. Carr's already feeling it right now. I think Cade is going to buckle up right here, and he's going to put a charge back on and get up front.
Yeah, I mean, Carr is definitely feeling the pressure as Spec looks like he maybe made a mistake and went down. Dallaire has himself a 9-second lead here, 20 minutes into this moto. This race is absolutely bonkers right now. Could go so many different directions. Lucas Brune, Wyatt Grant rounding out our top 5 right now. Jax Lindsay 6th. Garrett Hollenbeck 7th, Jack Gatlin 8th, Tharp 9th, Cepeda 10th, Carr is all the way back to 11th. And look, if he crashes again, there's 4 riders right behind him. Siebold, Wilczek, Vanderkoy, Holt, they're all right there chomping at the bit to get even more points. So Carr has got to really pull this thing together now, because he's back to 11th again. He just keeps making these mistakes, keeps crashing. Looks like he just moved back into the top 10 as Garrett Hollenbeck went down. But man, oh man, he has got to stop crashing this instant, or this could go so much worse.
He is literally, if he stays here right around 8, 9, 10, I think he's literally throwing his championship away. And he's the one that controls it. Yeah, he's been in 2 shitty spots. You hole shot the first moto, and then you get a red flag, and you go down off the start in both of them. He went down twice in the first lap on this one. It's a real bummer, but all these crashes, right? We know he has the speed. We saw him fight all the way up to second in the first moto. We know what he can do. This moto right here is him, I honestly think, cracking under pressure. Unless he's getting taken out randomly by people falling into him every time. We haven't seen them all. But honestly, I think if he goes down on his own again, it's him. Oh, look at that rider going down. Narrowly avoids it.
Very close, yeah. It's going to make a pass there on Emmanuel Cepeda, who's getting sideways. Meanwhile, Matherly is up to second, so Caden Speck has warmed his arm up and thrown this thing away. He's all the way back to 5th. So an 18-second lead now for Dylan Dallaire with 8 minutes still to go in this moto. But this championship picture is so fascinating because it could go either way. We could have a 10-point championship fight with 1 round to go, or we could have a 30-point championship fight with 1 round to go, because these guys are all still so close. Carr is right there, right behind Jax Lindsay. Tharp is right there, and you also have to factor in, does he maybe just let Carr go to get some points, right? If you're a teammate, do you want your teammate to get a few more points towards the championship? Maybe Tharp is thinking of that situation as well. Jack Gatlin snuck into the picture. Here is Speck and Brune. Wyatt Grant now 3rd. Matherly is about 3 straightaways ahead in 2nd, but he's still 18 seconds behind this man, Dylan Dallaire, who is sneaking away with this moto win while all this drama is going on behind him, and he looks completely unfazed by it. He's just hitting his marks and doing his thing out front.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what we're seeing here right now. Imagine if we could count, or like knew the point system or whatever exactly, because I'm like, imagine if on real TV they just were like, yeah, I don't know.
Dylan Dallaire, what, 13 points?
Yeah, Dylan Dallaire is having an amazing ride right now. I want to shout out all these guys. This is awesome, right? You had pressure. Cade Matherly fell and folded, and you're up here and you're just putting in a great ride. Even if they did start up front with you, Dylan Dallaire is having the type of ride that I think could go out and beat those guys. So it's not about they got a bad start, they fell. Dylan Dallaire is having an amazing ride right now. And these guys up front, it's amazing. I mean, P3, Wyatt Grant, like all of these guys that we're watching, it's awesome. Late in the year, you go out and you put in probably will be your career best finish, and you're just going to go out there.
Oh, Dallaire down with the lead.
Pushes, and that is a hard off-camber, steep section with a big rut right there. Hopefully he can get some power to the ground and get up this hill. Hopefully he didn't lose too much, but luckily he had like a 19-second lead over Cade Matherly, so that will shorten up, get Cade a little bit closer to being, one more mistake to winning this thing. 6 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Wyatt Grant in 3rd, Lucas Brune in 4th. Caden Speck fell from 2nd early on in the 5th. and Braden Tharp in 6th. And then I do think, Kellen, if they're at all friends, Braden Tharp needs to let Carr go.
I think so.
For
yeah,
a point,
right.
like even if he's 20 seconds back, dude, and your teammate is in a championship battle, and he goes, dude, I got a shitty start. Like there was a red
Please.
flag. Like if you don't, I feel like you're not friends. You're not team. Like you are just not friends. You'd have to say that as Delaire goes by a lapper right here, still holding on to this, but.
You know what's really
you
crazy?
got to, dude. Just let him by.
You know what's really crazy?
Let Brock by.
Dylan Delaire didn't even score points in the first moto. 23rd.
I told you where was he?
And he's
30th?
leading. He's leading this moto.
Is he hanging out at Russ Chapman's house?
5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Matherly has got it down to 9 seconds after that fall-off crash, and Matherly's just hoping for another one at this point. I don't think he's going to run him down on raw speed because Delaire actually has kind of the upper hand, 159.5 to a 201.6 that Matherly's been able to run, but Matherly just hangs out 202s. I mean, he just lives inside of them. He's doing them over and over and over again. 202.5, 202.4, back and forth they go. Here's Wyatt Grant, who's running a career best P3 as well. Very cool to see him mixing it up. Brune, Speck, Lindsay, Tharp, Wilczek, now in front of Seth Carr. Max Wilczek has passed Seth Carr and pushed him back to 9th. So Carr sitting on 12 points again. As they run, it would be a 12-point deficit that Cade Matherly is facing with 1 or 2 motos left to go in this championship. If they finish as they are, I feel like Carr still wants to go back after Wilczek here, of course, but he's got to be careful. Another crash, and then Jack Gatlin, Garrett Hollenbeck, Seabolt, Race Cobble, they're all right there. So you absolutely cannot afford to have another one.
The inside
Look at
Tharp
is down. Tharp is down, getting up with, not sure who that is, but inside move. Trying to get him back is Wilczek, and Wilczek will do it. Speck was the rider who was down as Tharp got up with him, and now they're right in front of Seth Carr. So look at this. This could go either way. He could get all the way up to 6th right now, or if he crashes, he'd go all the way back to
10th is right on.
15th or so.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy right now. Whoa, 2 Yamaha riders get together in front of him. Whoever's in 10th just overwhipped and died. I saw that coming a mile away. Seth Carr. It's crazy. He got cut off, then he makes a pass down the inside, but then with Braden Tharp, his teammate, down, he had to take an alternate line, which put him into another weird line, and then he just lost all those spots back. So he could have had 3 passes in 2 corners, ended up staying exactly where he was. Seth Carr is getting freaking thrown through the gauntlet right now as he boner air Leclerc. That triple, the big gulp up the hill right now, trying to make pass on the outside. Small mistakes,
doesn't
though.
want him to have it.
Speck doesn't doolies. Around the outside, he's just he's gonna have the speed right here up the inside. That's a little bit lower.
But Speck is gonna fight it for him. Fight for it with him. He's gonna push this outside line. Let's see if he can. Oh, and he goes down. Caden Speck, front end tuck and down. So Hollenbeck, Cobble, Seabolt, Holtze, Gatlin, Cepeda, even Snyder, they're all still probably within a fall-off crash distance of Seth Carr. So he absolutely has to stay on 2 wheels right here as he's made it all the way back up to 8th once again. That is going to bring it down to a 11-point swing, I think, in the championship. But we'll see, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be crazy. 8.9, 203.0, 203.6 last time by. Dylan Delaire is looking at the gnarliest 2 minutes and 2 laps of his life coming up right now, as he has got an 8-second advantage. This is his for the taking. He has just got to keep it on 2 wheels, and Matherly is just begging, pleading that another mistake happens so he can maximize his points haul here. Which way do you think this one goes?
I think he's got it. I mean, dude, he's been in this fight this whole moto, so why? I don't think he has pressure. Look at the gap that he has. I think he's just confident. Sometimes you go out there and you're like, dude, I've freaking done it. I don't care. I mean, it is 2 minutes plus 2 laps. So I think he's honestly still got it. I think he's gotten through all the pressure, and maybe last lap, white flag still in the lead, then that's a whole nother story. As people that have won motos before, we know how that goes. But yeah, I mean, awesome story from Dylan Delaire. I mean, he had these qualifying lap times too, so it's not like, where'd this come from? He showed it in qualifying. Had a really crappy first moto. I just wonder, I feel like this whole thing can be to blame as far as Seth Carr and where he's at and what's going on with this championship. You got to think that red flag got in his head.
Maybe.
you hole shot, you come across the line in the lead in the first moto, and you were so far ahead in points, 23 points or whatever coming in, and you go ahead and you hole shot the first moto and just get thrown back on the gate, go down. Like, he's got to just have, it's a shitty day for him, but he's making the most of it right now. Keeps making passes, working up. He's got Jax Lindsay he's trying to make a move on now, and he's showing some speed late. That's always what his specialty is, showing speed. That's a lapper down, I think, so still just working on Jax right here for more positions, and Cade still unable to get into the lead, so that's another 3 points that are being saved by Cade not being able to get up there.
I could be wrong, but the aesthetics of it looked as though Tharp just let him go a few corners ago, and we got Riders. That was very close right there, and Wilczek is trying to get back around Carr. So Carr up into 6th place right now, is scoring 15 points this moto to the 22 that Matherly is getting by finishing in 2nd if he stays there. So that would be a 7-point swing and go from 22 to 15. Not as much as he would like, and seeing if that was for a position that was down, it was not. So he is still in P6 trying to work on Jax Lindsay to get into 5th place. The good news for Seth Carr is he's done a decent workload here in the last couple of laps. Ooh, that's a mistake, though, off the track, to make it so that there's a pretty big gap behind him. Big gap behind him now, where if he were to go down again, he would probably still get up in 8th or 7th. So he wouldn't lose too many positions because Wilczek's in a dogfight here. Tharp, Hollenbeck, there's lappers everywhere. Jack Gatlin not too far back, so these guys are all going at it. But Carr now in a much more comfortable position to not lose too many points, and the onus is put back on this man. He's not really taking advantage of it either. Dallaire has opened this thing out to 14 seconds. 2-lap board is coming out, and that crash that Matherly has been trying to rely on and letting Dallaire make the mistakes of his own fruition here is not coming together. Instead, Dallaire is opening that gap back up with some very good lap times. 2:03 flat last time by, for example, and it's now 15 seconds. So he's going to need some help and then some. Wyatt Grant is even kind of catching Matherly again. But I don't know. Do you think Matherly maybe is just like, it's not worth it. I'm going to go 1-2 and win the overall. I got it as close as I think I could get it. And we'll just see what happens at the finale, because right now it's 15 points with a round to go. I mean, maybe he's just going to rely on that.
Yeah, what's the time gap? Sorry.
15 seconds. So it's pretty far gone.
At this point, yes, he's saying put in consistent laps, take my second, but he worked for it. He can't say he didn't. He worked for it, pushed up. It was at 19. Dallaire crashed, went down to like 8, still was working up, and then it's just, he was unable to make it happen. And so now you have to settle in and look behind you and say, okay, where's Seth Carr? Who's behind me? Wyatt Grant's still there holding on tight. And this is where I'm at. I did my best. I won the first moto, and this is what I did. I went 1-2, and I did the best I can, and he had 2 bad races. Let's move on. And if this is how the red flag threw a wrench in things, but if this is how Seth Carr is going under maybe the pressure and the frustration of the red flag, what does Seth Carr do if it's 8 points in the championship coming into round 2? A 1-1 and a 2-2 is 6 points. So you literally say Cade comes out, wins first moto, and you got second, you cannot get third. Like, that's the type of pressure that he's going to be under as he's making a pass. I think he's going to get the triple right here from that second to last line, but Jax Lindsay has the inside. Jax is going to have to give that up to Seth Carr as he goes by around the outside. One more position helps him out that much more. 5th for Seth Carr, 2nd for Matherly as we stand, and Dylan Dallaire on the white flag lap.
Yeah, white flag out, and Matherly's still in P2 for Seth Carr here, getting up to 5th place now. He is gaining himself 16 points in this championship. He is only losing 6 points now to Matherly as it runs. So to go from 22 down to 16 points, he's done a very good work here to get into this position in the first place. And Matherly just is not going to have it fall his way today to get his max points haul and go 1-1. This man, however, is going to rebound from one hell of a first moto, 23rd place, 23-1. I can't remember the last time I saw a score like that wasn't like DNF level to a 1 or a 1 DNF kind of thing, like just straight up 23rd to win. It's crazy, the turnaround.
I mean, Yeah, not win. I feel like I've had things where maybe the amount of positions were that different, but maybe like a 38th to 10th or something. That's it's absolutely crazy. Imagine finishing a round, getting a moto win, and you're like, yeah, I just got 25 points. I mean, but moto wins are something that some people, us, only get either class once in your life, right? And it'll be like, remember that crazy day at Unadilla where I qualified third, or at Budds Creek, I qualified third, and I didn't score points, and I went out and dropped it on them, and just showed everyone like, this is what I got. That's awesome, and I think this is amazing for Dylan Delaire. Glad we got to call this race, and just got to give him his props, man. He's absolutely killing it. When there's a championship battle this heated and you have guys that are so blow you away fast, and you go and do this, Dylan Delaire came out and man, he's really doing it.
What a ride, what a performance. For the first time in his career, Dylan Delaire is going to bring us down to the checkered flag. 250 Moto 2 at Budds Creek goes to Dylan Delaire. Unbelievable win out of the back pocket. No idea where that one come from, but he has got himself a fresh trophy to add to the mantle. He has won this moto. Cade Matherly is going to win the Budds Creek National in the 250 class. He's going to go 1-2 and put the pressure on Seth Carr going to the finale. And how about this? This is a first career podium in RF national competition for Wyatt Grant. And Seth Carr did indeed get all the way back to fourth place. Only lost 4 points when it could have been so much worse. Lucas Brune's going to round out the top 5. Jax, Lindsay, Max Wilczek, Evan Holt. These guys all fell so far back from where they were. Garrett Hollenbeck, Tharp, Maverick Snyder getting absolutely clobbered to the ground. RKO out of nowhere from Race Cobble.
Is that a position?
Yeah, Colin Holden's going to go by on Race Cobble there. But man, oh man, this race delivered so many different dynamics. And in the end, it's an 18-point lead for Seth Carr with 1 round to go.
Race Cobble just gave him the absolute business right there. That was awesome. Colin Holden says, thank you. I'll take the twofer, another couple spots, and I'll take 11th. As Cobble goes down, he's going to lose whatever he gained. Bummer for him. Colin Holden comes across the line in 11th. Dude, that's sick. We had 2 first-time podiums, a first-time win, a first-time podium by Wyatt Grant. And what's crazy is how crappy today went. That was probably the worst thing that could happen to Seth Carr. Only loses 7 points on the day.
I know.
Still, what, 18 points?
18 points up, yeah.
18-point difference coming in. Cade has gotta hope that he gets some starts again. Maybe a little bit better. And I hopes that Seth Carr has an absolute mental breakdown. That's the only thing. So how many times racing Budds Creek did you jump the finish line off to the right and land on that stupid wall?
A lot.
And you used to not be able to land on it and ride because it was jagged.
Just a wall.
Now you could throw a whip and you're like, oh, I'm going right. I'll just land on it and keep going.
Nice, no problem.
But yeah, man, what a crazy day. And that's got to be heartbreaking for Cade, though. Cade went out 1-2, did almost as best as you can do. It's just not enough. Not that there's not enough depth in the class, but Carr and himself are too good, and they're able to get up into podium spots. He lost too many points in the middle of the championship. I think it might be a little bit too late.
I mean, kudos to him, though, because he could have just laid over. He could have just laid over and been like, all right, Carr's got me, man. Like, he's got a big enough lead. There's no way that this is going to happen, but he just keeps trucking along and has got this thing down to 18 points with 1 round to go. 2 motos still to run. Needs to outscore him by 9 points in both motos. iMoto in chat letting us know that Carr has the tiebreaker. So if Matherly goes 1-1 next week, Carr would have to go 5-6, 6-5, or worse for Matherly to be crowned champion. But it's not over until it is over. That is going to do it for our 250 action here tonight. We still have 1 more race left to go. 450 Moto 2 coming up next. And we did get confirmation from iMoto in chat that it is the old point system that we're using, which means that in the first moto, Payson Johnson only scored 15 points instead of 16. Tyler Lang scored the max 25, so gained 10 points on him. It's down to 33 points with 3 motos to go. Given how the first moto just went, I have 2 questions for you. First off, is there any shot Lang gets this back in his favor. Like if he pulls it down, let's say another 10 points and we're 22 points out with a moto or 1 round left to go, do you think it's going to get chaotic? My daughter just came storming in here, so she's
fresh out the bath.
Fresh out the tub. She's got probably some stuff to say. What would you like to say, Holly? Anything?
Tell the fans it's your time.
I'm a silly goose.
She's a silly goose.
Yeah, you are.
But yeah, do you think that T-Lang... Can I get a big hug, Holly? I got to get on a plane in the morning.
Sorry. I think even if it gets down to 22, I just don't know if it's enough. I mean, you never know what can happen, especially with some of the stuff that Payson Johnson does. But it's gonna be interesting. It's almost the same thing. It feels like too little, too late for these guys. And the silly goose is giggling today. Holly, like I don't even exist. I leave.
I love you too.
Leave for
I'll
a month.
You.
Doesn't even ask if I'm Todd. Sad. She's crazy. Oh, Dad's getting a kiss now. There's so much love in this household between the dogs, this beautiful Brower family. So happy. All right, so moving on, 450 Moto 2. We are coming in. Yeah, I don't think it's enough. If it gets down to 20, Kellen, I honestly don't think it'll be enough. But obviously, it makes it go from we thought it was getting clinched here tonight to, hey, there's a chance. So we'll take that. Yeah, I guess that's it. You want my Design Lab co-host?
I do, but on the flip side, the second question I wanted to ask you was, is there even any shot? 33 points. He needs to outscore him by 17 points this moto. Any shot? Payson still walks out of here as the champion after this one.
No. Tyler Lang is too good, too consistent. He's got speed, but he's got consistency. He is probably one of the, longest racing vets, right, out there. It's got to be, Leclerc, Devin Davis, Leclerc, like Lang. Like, I don't know who else has been racing with us as long, that's still here kind of in the series. Yeah.
iMoto dropping off the predictions for everyone over on the Twitch chat. If you guys want to pick who whole shots 450 Moto 2 and use up some of those channel points, go ahead and bet him. He says, is it Brandon Larson, Tyler Lang, Braden Carter, Payson Johnson, Colby Eaglin, Braden Castellaneta, or other? Do you have a pick from any of those, or are you going to go off the wall and pick someone completely different, Haywood?
But you got to do less than 5 minutes. Brandon Larson's in here. I'm going to take... You know what? I think he's going to smell blood in the water. I'm picking Tyler Lang.
Tyler Lang going to get the whole shot according to Andrew Woods. So we're going to find out if he comes out the other end of that with the lead. Leclerc, you picked a Moto 1. I'm picking a Moto 2. I picked Seth Shirley, and he got it in the first Moto, but I have a sneaky feeling the fast Frenchman's going to come flying out of the gate here at Budds Creek, and we're about to find out, ladies and gentlefish, boys and girls. It is time to go racing. Final moto of the night, 450 Moto 2 here at Budds Creek. Are you ready? I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. The first moto was great. Is there a way... I'm just thinking. Do I cheat this? Or is there a way to cut the pole off? End submissions, right? There's a button?
Yeah, but I'm not going to cut away from watching the race to end submissions for the stream, for the polls there.
All right. I'm not going to get in on that. That feels cheap.
Okay,
right.
iMoto says he's going to cut it off. So
okay,
get your bets in now, people.
Love you. Get your bets in. I'm going to get some cash in. I'm going on my guy, Tyler Lang. I'm going to throw some cheddar. What are you? You got Leclerc.
I got Leclerc. Let's see what happens. Payson Johnson's all the way down the inside. He could clinch this moto, but it's a long shot. Here we go. Budds Creek Moto 2 is off and running. Looks like Eaglin got pinched. Johnson's trying to get a nose in there. Shirley gets to the corner first. He might be two for two.
Davis!
Or is it Devin Davis? It's side by side coming to the line. Seth Shirley by a nose got the Design Lab Co. whole shot. 2 for 2 tonight. D. Davis is right there with him. Johnson's trying to go up into the lead, or at least into second place. Davis is going to go down. Shirley's going to lead the opening lap, but Payson Johnson's right on him.
I think he cut it off too early. I didn't get in there. That was crazy. I thought it was Devin Davis. Was it Shirley? That's crazy. 2 for 2. Wasn't manimal, but look at this. Payson Johnson right where he needs to be. Devin Davis cracked under pressure through the turning roller or turning double section. Payson Johnson said, I'm not going to let what happened in that first moto happen again. I'm going to go into this thing with confidence. Go out, try to win this thing early, see if I can, beat best Seth Shirley here, and look at the speed.
Oh,
Whoa!
he's down. He's down and off the outside of the track here on the opening lap. Look at how many riders are going to go by, but crucially, where is Tyler Lang? There he is. He goes by on the 5. So he was in about 15th spot. Johnson throws away a golden opportunity to gain all those points back on Lang right away. Now he's got it all to do from mid-pack.
Yeah, I mean, doing it from mid-pack is a lot crazier, but it is Payson Johnson. This is the one guy I would trust to make moves from 13th place and get up there and be battling for a race win. It's still, the thing is right now, right, is they're still pretty close on the track. Yeah, he lost a lot of spots, but I honestly think 13 after going down off the bike is kind of got lucky there. And look at him picking his way around the track. Just stops, cuts over, tries to pick the route he wants to be in, but this track is a lot different since last time he saw him. He's losing spots right here. Gets jumped over right there into 14th, doing some crazy stuff, but that's what Payson Johnson does.
Oh, Brandon Kokoff, that was on the 54, goes down in front of him. So 13th place now for Payson Johnson. Tyler Lang went around Hunter Butters' Ash up there to get into 10th. So now he is going to just kind of get on this train and try to pick these guys off as quickly as he can. He would love to win another moto. I'm trying to figure out the math on Eagland. He lost a single point, so he has to beat Johnson this moto to remain mathematically alive. They are 50 points apart coming into this moto. So if Eagland doesn't beat Johnson in this moto, he is out of this championship fight, which I think he maybe thinks is already over anyway. But down goes Chase Blakely in front of a lot of guys. T-Lane's going to scoot by. There goes Hunter Ash. There goes Johnson. It was very tight as Blakely gets going again. So things are already kicking off. All the while, this man, Seth Shirley, leads early on, 3-second lead over Lexus Leclerc. We know Shirley from the lead can do some serious damage. Leclerc, Schaefer, Bodie Parker, then Joseph Pilsner rounding out the top 5. Lang is already 6th and going on to the attack here against Joseph Pilsner, trying to get into 5th place. Lang, was similar with Cade Matherly. I feel like Lang is kind of peaking at the right time late in this championship. Unfortunately, it might be too little too late. Same with Matherly. But he's putting all the pressure on Johnson to not blow this thing and just continually finding himself at the front of the field.
Yeah, I mean, with how far he got it down in the first moto, you could have some crazy Payson Johnson just freak out blow up, right? Lose 25 points if he goes up and wins this thing. And then it's actually like I beat you, you beat me sort of deal. So that would be an all-out battle going into the second round or the final round of the series. I do think Tyler Lang, though, also has the ID gaff.
Yeah.
I'm going to go as fast as I can. Why not? Let me try to win. Who cares? You're probably going to clinch this championship easily next round. But let me take away as many points as you can and make you work for it. I don't know what state Payson Johnson lives in to where I know what type of natural disasters and stuff you got going on. But who knows? Power can go out. Internet can go out. You can have, someone hit a power line by your house. Like, crazy stuff can happen. It's not you stay healthy, you perform on the weekend. There are variables. So just getting it to the final round in and of itself is an accomplishment. So I think Tyler Lang, go out there and win, and I think we're going to see his two best rides of the year today, overall, and next weekend at the finale Ironman.
So here he is now up into the top 5, got by Pilsner, and Johnson's trying to get by both these guys as well. Pilsner and Blake O'Brien trying to get into 6th. He's side by side with them. It is very close over the finish line jump with O'Brien. Johnson does get that spot, so he is now up to 6th. He's just trying to follow Lang through, which is probably the smartest decision he can make on the racetrack. Leclerc just quietly 2nd, 5 seconds off the lead from Seth Shirley. A little bit of a battle here. Bodie Parker and Austin Schaefer kind of going at it a little bit. Only a second between them as they fight for 3rd place on the racetrack. And then it's Lang coming down the hill. I actually think Johnson, in this instance, kind of wants to go after Lang and show him, who's boss. It looks like Leclerc just picked it up from 2nd. Lang is trying to go by him to get into 4th. They're going to be drag racing up this uphill. Leclerc has the preferred inside option. Whenever Lang just checks up, yeah, he just wants to defend this rut. He does not want to let Johnson get in there and do something about it. But here we go. Now we see the two guys closest in the championship, 33 points between them. But finally, Johnson gets to see Lang. He hasn't really seen him at all today.
Yeah, and kind of going back to what you were going to ask is I think maybe Payson does want to just blow by him and be like, dude, no, this is mine. I got this, right? You got some crazy stuff happened that first moto, but this is what I'm going to do. If I'm going to have a bad moto by my standards, I'm going to go out and win the second one and show you that I can be the fastest man on the track and come up and win this race. Tyler Lang, he's got nothing to lose, so he's going to push and give it his all, and he's looked amazing today. Yeah, and then Leclerc right there, man, playing a little bit of spoiler right here. Oh, a little
boy.
brake check in. Lang
is that
is
Johnson
faster.
down? No?
Almost. Lang had to brake check twice because Leclerc made mistakes. Lang was faster. Johnson was too. Johnson ended up bailing out, losing more time, so ended up decent for Lang, but they need to get around Leclerc and keep this battle moving forward.
They're starting to catch Austin Schaefer just up ahead of them in third as well, so this could become a battle for third or even second because Bodie Parker's not too far ahead of that, so this is really cool to see some of the best racers in the history of the national competition going at it right now here in 2024. They're 3, 4, 5 on the racetrack, right? Or 4, 5, 6, I should say, on the racetrack. But they want to move forward. Johnson has a move on Lang. He's going to try to chop the door off at the top of the hill. Lang controls the inside, and Johnson gives it to him. Very respectful racing between the two. Johnson jumps back to the inside on the off camber and makes the pass stick anyway. Power move for the championship leader.
Yeah, that was a power move, but I also think it, just like you said, it's still very respectable. He didn't, take out a wheel. He just had the line in front of him feeling good, too. Throws a big whip. He's got this inside line if he stays on 2, which he makes a mistake, and then lays it over. He was going to have that pass. Just like that, Tyler Lang goes back around over that tabletop right there, triples up the hill. Payson Johnson now has to regroup and go back to work all that he did. But yeah, taking that line away is still respectful because you were passing and Lang is down. That's 2 spots down for Lang. Payson Johnson's going to go by. Lang falls back. What is that, 5th?
That is now 7th for Tyler Lang, yeah.
Jeebus.
So that is going to be Payson Johnson up to 5th, gaining a couple more points in the championship. Provisionally speaking, it's at 35 points as they run. And of course, there's also the idea that you have to think about where Johnson, if he just keeps it at this range, it really sets him up well to clinch in the first moto next week. So not even have to think about it too much throughout the day if he gets enough of a gap. And I think at this point, he is back on his usual form, getting around Blake O'Brien into the top 5. Leclerc's actually picked it up. He went and caught Schaefer for 3rd, even after that crash, while running in 2nd. Looks like he's found a little bit of a groove. 3rd in the first moto. Now trying to get 3rd again here. This is... we're starting to find a little bit of the old Alexis Leclerc magic once again out of the defending champion.
I mean, you got to think taking time off I'm assuming that's a position they just passed. Not sure who that was.
Yeah, it was. Bodie Parker was down. Sorry, I totally missed
you're
it.
Okay. I saw Yamaha down. You're okay. I think, and he loses 2 spots actually. Lang is able to go by.
Johnson went down again. Johnson's back to 8th now behind Castellaneta. So suddenly Lang is back up to 5th. Johnson just cannot stay off the ground today. I don't know what it is about either this racetrack or whatever he's feeling, but unfortunately the crashes just keep raining down. We got another rider down at the top of the hill. It is not a position, though. It looks like someone way off the track somewhere. So these guys continue their battle, but Johnson back to 8th, Lang up to 5th, and he is all over Blake O'Brien trying to get into 4th as well.
Yeah, I think Leclerc, man, he's coming back, right? He had some quality. He came back after being off. Ooh, small mistake by Lang, but able to hold on to it, keep that spot. Leclerc is able to just get back into his groove. He's played this game for so long. He's such a great racer, right? Maybe qualifying didn't go as well as he wanted. First moto, nerve, starts, whatever. Second moto, he's like, dude, I've played the track. Probably played during the 250 moto too as well. And is like, I have so much time now. I can just go, and I'm 90% of the way back to like my championship winning ways and speed. So Leclerc just has that type of sort of thing about him. Tyler Lang, though, look at that, makes a pass right there. And Bodie Parker as well. That's going to be Blake O'Brien they're going past? Yeah, Blake O'Brien
shorted the uphill triple on Big Gulp right there.
On that black looking like...
Ooh. Oh, I thought Blake O'Brien was going down there.
I love that we've played the game so long. You can tell when a whip was thrown just a little too big.
Because we're not right there. We don't listen to the panic rev. You almost can like hear the panic rev without actually hearing it, kind of thing. Like, please bring the bike back.
Or
please.
you see the rear end slide a little bit faster than normal, and you're like, that's probably not coming back. Blake O'Brien now has his hands full with Payson Johnson right here, who goes not jumping fully to the inside. Look at that power wheelie. Just gets a bike length on him coming up to the face. Payson Johnson secures the pass. What? This guy is special, man.
This is crazy. So I just want to reset things for you guys so everyone knows where everybody's at. Johnson just went 156-1. 156-1 for Payson Johnson. It's Seth Shirley leading over Alexis Leclerc and Austin Schaefer in the top 3. Then Bodie Parker and Tyler Lang are right in front of Payson Johnson, who is in 6th right now as we are on board with him. So this fight up ahead of us is 4, 5, and then 6th on the racetrack, and then a whole host of guys right behind them. But it is crazy how Johnson just is turning it back on and off. Like he has crashes and then goes freaking Eli Tomac beast mode on us again. And it's only 11 minutes into the moto.
Is that not like classic Payson Johnson though?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I ran 4 lap times that are 3 seconds faster than anyone else. Look
he pushes
at him. Oh,
down.
He gives him the
puts him on the
biscuits.
deck. Oh my goodness. Payson Johnson just gave Tyler Lang the business right there. And Lang has got to go back to work from 8th now. So hold your horses, folks. This could get a little bit personal between these two. If Lang gets back up to him, I think Johnson's keen to just take off and run with this thing. But man, you never know with how many crashes he's had here tonight.
I mean, yeah, Payson could be behind him on the next lap, but that is absolutely insane right there. As there's a small pass, I think. Was that a lapper? I don't know. He got by someone. Payson did, but it's okay. That's crazy because we just talked about how respectful they were being and how the pass up the inside was respectful. Payson Johnson said, F this. I'm going forward. I'm tired of messing around with you guys. You're all slow. That's probably what he's thinking in his head. That's not what I think. Payson Johnson makes a small mistake right there. But he's like, whatever, dude. I don't care that you're Tyler Lang. I'm moving forward. Get out of my way. That was so unexpected. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was a little bit wild because I felt like they were playing pretty respectful with each other in the race earlier on. Honestly, like 3 laps ago, I felt like they were racing each other cleaner than that. But now it sets us up for a little bit of payback if Lang can get back up there. He's not too far behind him at the moment, only about 7 seconds down of him, as Seth Shirley continues to lead a big lead as well. I don't think he's had a single fall-off crash. 57.585. He's really flying out front, even wheeling down the backside of that jump right there. Tough first moto, 8th for the defending 250 national champion rookie on a 450 this year, but this is what we all expected he could do this year. The raw speed has always been there. The talent is there, no question about it, but he just seems to keep having too many mistakes every single week. Now finally get some clean air, and we're seeing the real Seth Shirley showing up.
I mean, this is just like him in the 250 class for the last year and a half, right? This is what we expected coming into this national title, but we didn't know how it would be his first year on the 450 in outdoors. So we're seeing it now, right? This is glimpses. I think there's going to be an issue. Oh,
Another mistake!
Lang, he didn't even hit him that time.
Dude.
Tyler Lang got scared, pushed the front, because Payson Johnson was literally in the same spot, right on his back, like rear quarter panel, and just he blows it. That's not even a thing on a dirt bike. Blows the berm. I honestly think he was scared.
I think he was. I think
like,
he reacted to him being there.
He's like, he's going to hit me. He's going to hit me. Try to jump right in between. Tyler Lang goes down. Same exact corner 1 lap later.
Crazy.
Oh, my God.
Honestly, crazy.
Seth Shirley will be back. He will be in this championship fight in 2025. Better believe me, that's Blake O'Brien again, I think.
Yes. Blake
he's
O'Brien
on a,
down again.
What do you call a triumph?
So Lang is now 10 seconds behind Payson Johnson again. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off with the Shirley discussion, but I went back there because I'm like, they're pretty close. I'd love to go see what they're doing. And
that's good. Watch those times.
Did not Daytona disappoint me at all. I loved it.
You've never disappointed me, Kellen.
Austin Schaefer and Bodie Parker are still finding each other here for P3 on the racetrack. They're tailing Alexis Leclerc, who has made his way all the way back into 2nd place. And a couple fresh faces mixing it up here at the front. Good to see them have another solid day, another solid race. And Schaefer over the top of the hill pushes out. Parker to the inside. It's going to be very close. Schaefer a mistake, and Parker cuts back across. He takes P3, and off he goes sailing there. Oh, Castellaneta down in 5th place. That's going to give Johnson P5 on the track, and Castellaneta will pick it up before Lang gets there, which is still a little ways to go. He's just in front of Chase Blakely. Chase B. Don't see Blakely out front too often anymore. Yeah, but I'll tell you, I went back and looked at the last time I raced a Pro National, because I was trying to figure out. I raced
probably on your ass.
I raced EU last week, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
And so I went back and tried to look at the last time I raced a Pro National. The last time I raced a Pro Moto, I finished 9th, and Chase Blakely won it in 2016.
16? Dang, I think I tried like 18, 19. I suck, dude. It's hard. We're washed. That's crazy. Yeah, Chase B also been around for a long time. If we got a little lull in the action, I want to update. I'm a man of the people, as we know. I hang out in the chat. Sometimes distracts me too much. Motohead Garage and Elise, they're new watchers. They're finally in the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
They're chatting. They said they came around a month ago. Maybe Washugal, my solo stream, was their first time, and I hooked them. No, probably not, but they love it. They are just out here, and shout out to them. Also, in the other chat, Racing for the Sun. Sorry, YouTube chat doesn't normally pop off as much. We stream on YouTube and Twitch. We love you guys to be able to enjoy the content on whatever you like to consume content on better. So sorry that almost over the bars for T-Lang twice. Oh my God. So thank you for being here though, even though the chat might not be as poppin'. And then lastly, two things. Soli said 450 is crazy. Crashed twice and got fourth, which I think is crazy because you used to not be able to crash and even be top 10. Devin Davis said he got 11th first moto with no crashes, but he got 11th because he's a turtle. He called himself a turtle or a tortoise. I just love it. You got the tale of two guys, right? Old vet holding on to it. Soli's also a vet, but a little bit more speed maybe today. Shout out everyone. Thank you for all being here. We love you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And I echo your sentiments that you guys put in chat as well. I wish we had the timing marker on the left side of the screen for sure. The top of the screen thing that you guys see with the timing and scoring displayed there is literally integrated in the game. I literally cannot show it. Like it just is there at all times if you use the camera mode in the game. So I always felt weird about doing both pylons, and we used to have a pylon on the left side. Not really. I mean, like I could make the feed bigger so that it doesn't show the top of the screen, but we always see it regardless.
Could we, well, not for us, but could we put our like three or our bottom bar over the top of it, and then if we had the thing, but we'd have to have a good reliable side thing, which is just hard with this game, what it's coded in, the way everything is. If someone creates an app, an overlay that works, we'll probably use it.
I think we got something coming. Okay, that's all I'll say.
Helen just said, "You can't. You're not right now, but something's coming later."
Yeah. Yeah. So I am not going to do the MX bike stream on Friday. Unfortunately, I really wanted to, but I last minute got my flights and everything paid for to go to Budds Creek. So I'm going to Budds Creek instead. I will not be streaming bikes this Friday, but I do plan on either streaming bikes or doing it with someone for the last two rounds for ARL, which would be, of course, Budds Creek next week and Ironman the week after that. So apologies, I will not be able to make it. And also, Motohead Garage says,
is that the worst or the best idea ever?
I should get Lewis to play a few hours of sim and sit with him in the booth for a race for you all. Breaking news, Lewis Phillips used to race in this game. He actually won some amateur races.
Shut up.
Nope, I'm not going to shut up. His best friend, Sean Ogden, raced for Great Britain in 2013.
Yeah, yep. I tried to get on that team, and I was just too slow.
So Lewis knows this game. In fact, it was where I first heard of him and knew who he was before he even started covering MXGP over there. This was like 2013 or so.
So I said it's either a really good idea or a really bad idea. So would that be a good idea? Like, would he like it? Because
no, he doesn't want to do it.
In my head, he would just, even sitting here, right? Just like Tej. Would he just sit there and be like, this is stupid. You guys are dumb. It's all fake.
When he lived here, I said, you should come in for a stream. And he's like, nah. And I'm like, why not? And he's like, I don't really have anything to say. And I'm like, but you played the game. And then you obviously commentate or talk about real life stuff. So I think he should have, but
he'd probably get bored.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would.
I mean, that's boring, not doing anything. I don't know. That's funny. That made me laugh when I read that. I was like, you need to read this because it's either really good or really bad.
Lewis used to play this game. Like I said,
I bet you I smoked him.
Seth Surley still leads from Alexis Leclerc, Austin Schaefer, Payson Johnson now up into 4th place, and Tyler Lang is kind of closing in on him actually a little bit. Johnson just went 156.617, then crashed by the looks of it. 159.453 last time for Tyler Lang. So they're definitely flying around the track right now, but Lang is just trying to get close to him again. Do you think Lang returns the favor if he gets to his back tire? Does he punt him?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
That's my like. I'm trying to put myself in the mind of Tyler Lang. Probably right now saying, "Hold on to it." Dude, he's fast. 157 with that. I honestly think he goes up and he's like, why not? I'm 30 points back. I'm losing points now. Oh, that's a lapper down. Maybe. He's like, I'm points down. Why not? He hit me. Then I got scared because he was going to hit me. So why not just freaking hit him? It doesn't change the championship, really. It just makes you feel better. So, like, just go do it. I would punt the shit out of him if I got up to him. If I'm Tyler Lang, just do it. Like, it doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it maybe... I don't know. I always tend to, like, err on the side of caution because, look, if he's going to lose this championship like we think he might, he's got to race Payson in Supercross next year. He's got to race him in SMX in a week.
Yeah, but how much stupid shit has... Sorry. Switch got me loose, and then I know we're on YouTube again now. How much dumb stuff has Payson Johnson done over the years? Like, how many people owe Payson something too? And Payson hit him first, so he owes it. If he did it first and was like, I'm going to try to take him out, then it may be, ooh, enemies. But he hit him first, like, you got to be like, okay, touche, right? Shake your hands, you're good. But also, Tyler Lang, too, as Lane said in chat, just hit him so hard he crashes his game. Now that... If that was still really possible or common, that would be awesome because then Iron Man would be crazy in the 450 class. And this is the series that we thought was going to get wrapped up 2 rounds early.
Yeah.
And it could be going down. So, hey, who knows? Crash a game. Power goes out.
You never know. He's not really catching Payson like we thought, though. It stayed right at about 4 seconds, 3.8, 4 seconds, gone back and forth. Johnson did have a fall-off crash because he went 205.5. I think... Lang just went 157.8. I think we might be about to see another crazy one from Payson as he's hopping over tough blocks. What is this lap about to be? 2 flat 0.2. He didn't actually run a burner. So if Lang had run his personal best right there, he'd be right on him, but he is not able to do so right now. 26-second lead. 26-second lead for Seth Shirley. 57.4. It is gnarly what he has done in this moto. Like, having never won a 450 moto before, he's just taken off and run with this. Why did I sound like I'm from New York? He's taking off.
And what's cool is this is almost like Dylan Delaire, not to that extent. Sorry, Seth. I love that line. He just turned it around, right? You went from like, oh, I'm battling, right? He was up there. He's got a couple good starts. He's been inside top 10s. He's poked in the top 5s, whatever. His first moto wasn't like blow you away, and then this one he's just like, yeah, dude, I win by 30 seconds. Like, what? Like, that's just how it is sometimes, though, in this game, and I think it's awesome to see Seth, and this is his first taste, right? He's been up front before, but you say hasn't even won a moto, which I would have guessed otherwise, but this is just confidence, right? End of the season.
Ooh,
and he's
as
down.
we say that, he's down.
It's okay. He was up to 38, so now it's just going to go back to 28.
So Johnson must be about to close up on Leclerc here. Yeah 11.4. Leclerc just went down. So, yeah, he's got a massive advantage. Shirley can pretty much cruise this thing home. Do you think Johnson catches Leclerc here before this is done? We got ourselves about a 10-second split between the two of them. Lang actually started reeling in Johnson again. 2.3 seconds now. Here we go.
I'm not saying yes because Leclerc has had a great ride, right? And Payson might have been up and down a little bit. So is Lang. But they have the ability to, but I think it's going to need mistakes from Leclerc. I do think Leclerc also, like Seth Shirley, has turned the corner. Yes, they both had fall-off crashes that last lap, but I think they need a mistake from Leclerc. I think Lang and Payson are going to get in a battle here, and maybe there's some pressure. 2 seconds lap faster right there by Lang, so 2 seconds closer. And Payson Johnson
Payson down. Oh, he's going to get up right behind him, though. So now, ding, 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 round 3. Well, really round 4, because they raced each other square at the beginning of the moto. Then Payson put him down. Then T-Lane got scared and crashed by himself. So round 4, what's about to happen here? As these guys continue to battle for third on the racetrack. I don't know. I feel like we're splitting hairs on how this might go.
I don't know. I love that. I felt bad for saying that he got scared, and I like that you just backed me up.
He
and just
did.
said it the same way.
He just went straight over the run. What do you mean?
He got scared. Okay, because I felt bad, and I thought you were gonna be like, dude, don't say that. And it's coming into the same corner. No, I honestly think Payson Johnson cannot hit him again. I don't think it's fair that you've passed him 3 times, right? Straight up. Killed him, scared him. You can't take him out. Like that would make me lose some of the respect that I've regained for Payson Johnson. He's one of my favorite riders now. You can't hit him, but I do think you can be aggressive.
Oh boy, here we go. He's going to pass him on the inside here, and that is just a fair racing pass. Lang had nothing for him. So now Lang gets to do the opposite, which is be right behind him with the opportunity to set up a pass. Do we see the thing that we talked about earlier? Does Payson give him the business?
Or Lang give Payson? I hope he freaking punts him. I know he just got around him cleanly, and that's 2 out of 3. I'm also old school in this game when you were murdering people left and right. I think Tyler Lang, look at this drive down the inside. He's going to scrub Dooley's over that, gets into the wheel. Move over on him. Why don't you? These guys are crossing over each other back and forth. We didn't get the takeout, but hey, Tyler Lang says, I'm not letting you get it that easy, boy.
Wow, this is an interesting fight between the two guys that really, again, we think Payson's got this championship pretty much all but locked up, but it's still fun to see how the dichotomy of these two racing each other is going. And yeah, Lang is in a position to win the overall right now, 1-3, Shirley on an 8-1, Leclerc on a 3-2, and of course Johnson was 6 in the first moto, so 6-4, he doesn't factor in. Lang's going to win this overall probably no matter what, but I feel like Johnson is, I don't know, do you think Johnson's like almost playing with him a little bit too? Because I feel like he had the opportunity to kind of sneak away right there with the lap times he was putting in, and Lang just went and got him right back, I feel like kind of quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe like not in the sense of like, oh, like I'll get you, then I'll let you get me so I can get you again or whatever. But I think he just doesn't care. I don't know what's inside Payson's head. I hope whenever he wins a championship, we can talk to him and I could be like, what are you? Like, what do you think?
What are you?
What do you think about? Because he used to be, I'm going to go as fast as possible and do whatever and just try to go fast. And he's doing that now, but it's also making him win. But he is being better, and I'm going to say this to him. I've liked him more because he's done less, like, stupid stuff. I don't even think taking out Lang was, like, that stupid.
No, I think it was just 2 lines came together for
yeah,
sure.
And it's like, I'm taking it. Yeah, it was a takeout, but it wasn't like I'm murdering you on purpose.
Yeah.
But he used to be, I'm going to cut the track, and I'm going to, like, we called for him to be banned 50 times. So I like him. I just want to ask, like, what does he think of now going into these races? And, like, congratulate him, and now I like him. But, yeah, I just don't know what's in his head. So, like, is he playing with him? Maybe. But I don't know. I also think that's just the way he rides. He probably just was hauling ass, made a mistake, and then now he's going to do it again. You could pass the same person 50 times, and it wouldn't be on purpose.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like he has the speed to just go run him down, and I think is kind of choosing not to. Like, valor is, or discretion is the better part of valor in this situation. Don't put yourself in a situation where he can take you down and make life worse. I mean, they have a big enough advantage over Bodie Parker where if he crashes again, he'd still be 4th. But why risk it? Why set yourself up to be in a position where he can put you down on the ground again? He's off the track right here at the bottom of the hill. That was a bit of a wild ride. But Lang is now right behind Jacob Hubbard, who goes for a ride, and then Alexis Leclerc not too far up the track either now, 3 seconds up ahead of him. Welcome to the Members Lounge, Unearthly Horrors. Thank you so much for joining up with your Prime sub. Actually joining back again. He's on a 2-month streak right now.
Yeah,
so
baby.
He's wilding out right now. Where's all my subs in the chat? Can we get a Fat in the chat wall? I want to see Fathery's face. Light is up.
Oh.
The MX Sim legend that he is. I want that gorgeous, he's got like a black beanie on.
It's a white beanie with a gray strap. Looks
there
like
it
he's
is.
snowboarding. Just sexy fat. Drop that. I'm not a sub right now because I'm a cheap ass.
Sad.
But if anyone wants to gift me one, it just goes to support the channel, and then I can drop some fats with y'all.
Thick Boy BT just says, "Wow, I suck," because he just resubbed with his Prime sub for 4 months. So I'm guessing he said that saying that means that he forgot to do it. But thank you so much. We got more fat in chat coming from Saru. Unearthly Horrors dropping a fat in chat. We got a wall of fattery right now. It's crazy. But we got a battle brewing right now for second place on the racetrack. Tyler Lang has started to reel in Alexis Leclerc, and as it runs right now, he's gained another 2 points on Payson Johnson. It's down to 31 points. I think Lang, you know what? I think Lang is low-key determined, I'm going to lose this championship, but I don't want it to be done before the last moto. I want the last moto for there still to be a shot on the line that I maybe can win this title. Long shot, but I want to take it all the way to that one.
I mean, I do think that's part of it, right? Like maybe after the first moto and seeing the points gain, like, oh my God, 10? Like I didn't win and he got second, like 10? Or close to it, whatever it was. I think that's him saying, he was probably saying, I want to bring this to Iron Man. I'm not letting him clinch. I'm bringing it to Iron Man. And then after this one, yeah, he's probably like, screw it. Let's bring it to the last moto. Like, let's do it. Let's make him fight for it. People in chat are like, oh, what if he gets banned? Or what if something happens and he gets banned? And then it's like, Tyler Lang, you just have to score 4 points. Don't mess it up. Which would never happen, but I do think that's funny. Man, Tyler Lang moving. Look at him double up that little hill. Getting the second rut right here and trying to make the move on Alexis Leclerc late, 32 minutes into the moto.
I think white flag's coming out next time by for Seth Surley. Still 17-second lead for the big number 2 machine out front. Payson Johnson actually has slipped back to Bodie Parker, so he's even in danger of going back to 5th place. All the while, Tyler Lang's trying to get into 2nd place on the racetrack. So that's another kind of interesting late dynamic here, is the championship point swing that still could be on offer, because Parker, he just got around Payson. Bodie Parker passed Payson Johnson to get into 4th. This is, wow. I'm surprised, to say the least, that has gone in the favor of Bodie Parker, but kudos to him because he's riding very well. White flag is waving for Seth Surley, trying to win what I think is his first career 450 moto. iMoto in chat will certainly let me know whether that's true or not. What is up? It's Thumper and Jake Spees. Welcome to the Members Lounge. Spees, welcome back to the Members Lounge as well. Thank you guys so much for completing the hype train over here on Twitch. We have just reached hype train level 1. So we're into the level 2 range for the hype train over here. Train is moving along, and T-Lank's trying to go get Leclerc. Parker is just inching away from Payson Johnson. Johnson has enough in hand. He should crash and still finish 5th. No problem. Oh, Lang bouncing into the corner. He's putting the heat on Alexis Leclerc, making the number 1 machine fight for this. It's going to be a podium regardless for Leclerc, but I think this is 2nd overall if he goes 3-2 on the day. So he's kind of back again, and Lang is making as much. Oh, this is close here. Coming across lappers. Oh, Lang slides out. He's down off the bike. And Johnson got back around Bodie Parker. And he's going to get there as Lang gets up from a crash. So that is very interesting, because that could be a late mistake for Lang to allow some points back in Johnson's favor. This man is on a mission at the front of the field. And iMoto corrected me. First moto win right here coming for Seth Surley on a 450. He has never done it before. It has been a long season, but might I remind the people in chat?
You said? Huh? No, you said it was going to be his first moto win.
No, he just says I'm correct.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I remind people that in the title defense here for Tyler Lang, he was terrible at just about every track except Bud's, where he went 1-1. And finally, his teammate, maybe he shared the secrets, the golden secrets of Bud's Creek to his teammate Seth Surley, because Surley put every piece of the puzzle together. Finally, for the first time in his 450 career, Seth Surley is going to win a moto in 450 competition. Seth Surley wins Moto 2 here at Bud's Creek. And it's not going to be for the overall. It's going to go to T-Lang with a 1-3 performance. Payson Johnson's pushing him all the way to the flag. He's going to win the overall regardless, 1-4 or 1-3. Let's see if Johnson gets there. A little bit of a mistake. I think Lang has got this. 1 turn to go.
Leclerc with a great comeback, too, to come and finish second right there.
Second overall, too. 3-2 on the day. But Tyler Lang takes the Bud's Creek National, doing everything he possibly can to bring this thing all the way to the end. goes 1-3 to win the overall. Payson Johnson doesn't clinch the championship early tonight, but sets himself up very well. He is 31 points up with 1 round of racing left to go. Only 50 points left on the table, and he has got a 31-point advantage. So just needs to pick up 19 points next week at Ironman. Bodie Parker rounds out the top 5. Colby Eaglin, Braden Castellaneta, Schaefer, Partillo got all the way back to 9th. Blake O'Brien 10th. Luke Sullivan 11th. Pilsner 12th. Brandon Larson 13th. Cocroft 14th. Blakely 15th. Pachone 16th. Jeff Cooper 17th is the last rider on the lead lap. No, he was a lap down. Excuse me. So Pachone, last man on the lead lap. Everyone else just trying to get it to the flag here. And what a wild day. T-Lang back up on the top step of the podium once again. And at the very least, he's brought this thing all the way down to the end. I do also want to give a quick shout out as well to this gentleman right here, Colby Eaglin. Yeah, I'm good. You gotta go to pee or something? Colby Eaglin's championship hopes are now over. He has mathematically been eliminated by a single point. He is 51 points back as of this second. We'll see if cuts change it, but I doubt it. He was pretty far back of Payson Johnson there. So, yeah, this is
guaranteed second or third.
Guaranteed second or third. I think he's guaranteed third. I think Shirley's way too far back in the championship.
But Lane could, die.
Yep, Lane could die indeed. So we're just waiting for a couple guys to finish off. And, yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in so far here tonight. We're about to wrap this up here from Budds Creek. 1 more rider, 2 riders still to finish. We're just waiting on them before we get our cuts in. T-Lang has won the overall here today at Budds Creek.
I mean, I'll save it for when we come back in studio, but that was freaking sick.
That was freaking sick.
I'll save it till we get back in studio. My hair's probably messed up.
I think, by the way, that Payson is going to lose 4th on cuts to Buddy Parker, and there it is, confirmed.
Yeah.
So 2 more points lost. That's 4 points gained this moto. That is now 29 points. 29 points with a round to go. So has to score 21 points, actually, at the final round.
1-3 to take it to the last moto.
We definitely shall see. But many congratulations, Tyler Lang. No champions clinched tonight, but Lang gets the overall dub here at Budds Creek. All right, back in studio with you guys, Kellen Brower, Andrew Wood, A-Wood, showing off the cable car 153. Bummer that he is no longer with us. But, yeah, Budds Creek done and dusted. We've got 1 more race to go, A-Wood. We have made it all the way through 28 rounds of racing so far have come and gone. 27 rounds have come and gone so far with Supercross and Motocross combined, and we're here. 1 race left to go.
I missed a few, but it's all right. I also did one by myself, which is fun. I'd like to do that almost every year. It's fun.
One race by yourself?
It's scary as hell, but it's really fun. I mean, are we doing SMX?
I think so. I believe I have heard somewhere that SMX is happening in Sim.
Okay,
so
because it's got to be put on by RF, right? Whatever. That would be sick. So. If not, if it happens, I guess we'll be here.
We will.
Why not?
We will be here.
But I mean, today's racing was awesome. Championships that we thought were both going to get wrapped up. I thought 1 round early for the 251 and 2 rounds early for the 451. Didn't end up being that way. We're seeing it go down closer than we thought. First podium by Wyatt Grant. First race moto win by Dylan Delaire in the 250 class. First 450 motocross win by Seth Shirley. A lot of firsts, extensions on their championships. I think this is amazing. We saw some great stuff, and yeah, I can't wait. Next weekend or next week's gonna be sick.
And another week of 4 different moto winners too. We had the same thing at Unadilla, so that's always really cool to see. Yeah, Ironman next week wraps us up. We have 1 round of RaceFactoryGaming Nationals left to go here in 2024, and we're going to crown a couple champions next week. Seth Carr, Cade Matherly, Tyler Lang, and Payson Johnson are all still mathematically alive for their respective championships, and one of them is going to walk away, or 2 of them, I should say, are going to walk away with championships next week at Ironman. Big thank you, of course, to RaceFactoryGaming.com and the RaceFactory Gaming track crew for putting another great racetrack together and for hosting this for us to enjoy and for you guys to watch at home. Always appreciate all the stuff that they do over there. And thanks to the Design Lab Co. for backing the stream and the broadcast all year long with our Whole Shot Award win. Thank you, A-Wood, for joining me back in the booth. Great to have you with us again, because we haven't streamed a race together since Millville. It's been a minute.
It's been over a month.
Yeah.
Because missed a week, 2-week break, and I soloed. So probably 5 weeks since we've done it, and just like we never left. It's like riding a bike. You just, we got it down.
Yep, we got it down. And of course, huge thank you to all of you guys, everyone who subbed here tonight over on the Twitch side and over on the YouTube side. I do want to give one quick final plug, if I may. And I'm going to see if it's changed. It has not. So if you look at my Kellen SYS account, we're at 499 subs. I don't know why my camera won't zoom in on that. 499 over at Kellen SYS on YouTube. So please head over there because I would love to have 500 subs by the end of the evening if you guys would so oblige to do so.
Hopefully right now.
Yeah, hopefully right now.
One more?
One more. I mean, that's all it takes.
I always think you're first sub, so
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We are out here at Budds Creek, and we'll see you guys next week for Iron Man. Some post-race chat after that as well. A little bit of season recap, maybe. We'll do some fun stuff after that. Maybe we'll get a little bit of drinks going.
I'm going to probably get drunk next week.
Okay. Man.
I've been taking it easy, and if you look back at the past years, Ironmans have been loose, so I might bring a 12-pack and just get after it.
Oh, man. iMoto was number 500. You know what your prize is, iMoto? I'm going to keep you as a mod into 2025 here on our Twitch side. So thank you guys so much for the support. As always, appreciate it. And we'll be back next week for the Ironman National as well as the RFGP on Monday as well. So tune in to that. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. And we'll see you next week. So long for now.
Oh, yeah.